It's been wrong in the past, even at those levels, but I do think it's a sure thing this time.
And I finally had a sure thing.
The stock market was a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
It wasn't a sure thing.
It's a sure thing.
Amen.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing. Sure thing.
Must be a sure thing, but I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Nature, everybody wants to rule the...
Well, that would make sense. You fuck. Holy fucking shit. What a retard. Okay. Corrupt FM, 10 out of 10. Corrupt FM, when will it end? I'll take your car keys. I'll take your energy.
Oh,
K to the
mate.
URP to the T.
Dude, we're screwing the video guy because I've plugged in my audio into the laptop so he can't hear you at all. He's just sitting there.
Right.
So it's very fucking rude. For 2 hours, he has to just hit one side combo
Well,
for no
is there
reward.
does he have a way to fix it?
Well, there would be. He reckons I can use Bluetooth and plug it in so that he can actually listen to the pod.
Yeah, well, then do that.
Okay, I'll try to do it. We don't need to start too soon. I have to go in 20 minutes though.
I'm gonna fucking.
Is that all right? Dude, do you want me... How much do you want to sell your camera? I'll buy your camera right now. Dude, I'll buy it for $1,200. He's happy with that. Man, I'm just trying to work out, like, how would I theoretically put your audio into the pod, into the Roadcaster without it double recording? Because that
that should be easy. It should come through the USB on the Roadcaster, like the channel after 4.
No,
channel.
man, because talk now.
Yeah, checky 1 2 checky 1 2.
No, because what I do is I use the Roadcaster just for my audio. If you're in there, then we'll have a secondary. Your voice will be on, and we'll have a lag.
No. I've got my headphones plugged into the Roadcaster, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's. Can you repeat what I'm saying to this guy? Because he's clearly more knowledgeable than you, and he can fucking sort it out. My headphones are plugged into the Roadcaster.
His headphones are plugged into the Roadcaster.
And then I have the sound on the computer out, coming back to the Roadcaster.
Yes, the sound coming to the Roadcaster.
From the computer.
From the computer.
Yeah, and then I turn up channels 1, which is my mic, and then 5, which is the USB audio. And then on Google Meeting or Google Meets in settings, it's microphone, Roadcaster Pro Stereo, speakers, Roadcaster Pro Stereo.
Okay, let me see that, dude. This is good.
I also really resent you saying that I've done my hair, because every other cunt has been like, mate, you just come from you've been riding a motorbike or something, eh? If you're coming from a motorbike ride, a bit windy out there, is it? It's just growing.
Are you all right, dude? I can't get it going. You can,
but man,
I can pay for your Uber.
Get him to look at the fucking computer. He'll be able to figure this out, man. It's not hard.
Do you want to try work it out? He's happy to try work it out. I'm just going to try get.
Fine, don't worry about it. I'm all good.
He doesn't care.
All right, it's shit anyway.
He literally doesn't care.
It's absolute dog shit,
dude. I love it because you have you've been so excited. Now, like you've been to the salon. Show me your nails. You're just so excited for this new look. I've never seen you look like this. You normally look like absolute drug addict trash.
I look like trash right now. What are you talking about?
Mate, you're wearing like your pickup jumper that you probably try pick women up from sports clubs.
I'm wearing my
heading down to squash or tennis events.
Do you like? It's my my homage to the Sopranos feeler. Do you like it?
Oh, dude, it is a Tony Soprano vibe, but it looks like the sort of
Just while we're talking about desperation, Andrew Wolfe, 2nd December, 11:16, 3rd December. Wait, no, that's the wrong way. Let's see, today 5 incoming calls, and then Wednesday 2:20, Friday 3:20.
we were getting the camera and we obviously had an issue, right? Because I lied to you. And
No,
I was
no,
dropping
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the number of phone calls you've made since you went on Secret Pod and you've been freaking out.
Oh, mate, I was fucking... Well, it's a lot, dude, because when you're blackout drunk, normally what happens is you say something racist just to the Uber driver, and then you wake up and you go, I wonder how I got home. And then you realize your ratings dropped 4 points on Uber because you actually manhandled him and tried to fight and said, we don't want you in this country. But when you go on a live pod, you wake up and suddenly your phone... It's not blowing up because it's such shit. I was so shit. Like, there's just... a random 50 people that had followed me. And I was like, this fucking thing's gone live. And then, but the outcome's been amazing because so few people have given a shit. The numbers are tight. Percentage-wise.
It's new having 35,000 people bully you though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a lot, man. But the thing is, at least 12 people have reached out and said they quite liked it. People probably with bipolar said, I really enjoyed that. I'm like, you need to see a psychiatrist immediately, man, because from the actual numbers, most people, I don't think, enjoyed it. But I'm saying to you, what a hangover. Because often when you're drunk with your friends, they might record it, but film you, with your dick out at a wedding. But then they just put it on a WhatsApp group with 7 other people and you're still mortified. Do you know when you ring up your mate, what did I do last night? And he lies. He goes, mate, you had your dick out. Remember that girl? You were chasing girls around the car park. And you're like, really? Because they have met. And then they go, no, I'm lying, dickhead. You passed out. You went straight home. I've done that with friends where you make up a fake scenario. You chased after a taxi full of girls with your dick out. And he's ringing up. And then you could see that he's taken the bait because he's messaging other people. Hey, did I chase a taxi last night? And you're like, you just made it up, this scenario. And I go, dude, you're a tiny little dick. And because of that, he knows that you're talking facts because you mentioned the tiny dick. And he goes, no one except my ex-partner knows about my tiny penis. That's been restricted. I didn't even change at school. Swimming at school, I used to arrive in my togs. I was in my bathers when I rocked up.
Because you didn't want anyone to see. Oh, I would do the towel around the waist and then put them on.
Dude, I would arrive in like a rash vest and already dressed for it underneath. And then people would say in economics, oh, your pants are all wet. And I'm like, yeah, I can't take them off. I can't see, no one can see that my penis is not grown.
That has to be the most despicable thing that we do is like forcing puberty-aged boys into a changing room together.
Dude, it's horrific because some people don't grow. And then we had a teacher that used to stand in the middle and go, come on, boys, don't be shy. You've all got 2 balls and a head.
Wait, what do you mean you had a teacher standing in the locker room?
Dude, he used to stand in there and he would say to us, come on, boys, no need to be shy. We've all got 2 balls and a hair. And I was like, why is he in here? And he's watching us. And there was an Asian guy that used to just pull his pants off and stand around. But he had pubic hair, whereas I was watching people shower. And you've just got a small, like a kid's penis? It's fucking, you got a fun-sized dick.
Yours had showers as well? You were doing the whole...
Dude, you had showers and you've got, it's actually horrific. It's like putting in a juvenile into an adult prison. Everyone's showering, they've got these massive dicks with hair all over it. And you're like trying to draw on hair with a pen. You got a biro. And they go, dude, your dick's so small. You've got hair though. And you're like, yeah, it's drawn on with textures. Hey,
not only that, but you've got some giant Tongan kid who's hanging around as well, and like you're getting laughed, and you're screaming like, I'm a grower, honestly, like you're trying to get a half chub on before you go in.
Well, I'm basically
like before you go into the locker rooms, you're kind of giving it a pump, like come on, dude, baby, let's go. I can't embarrass myself in front of the other boys.
See me in the class after and go, dude, your tracksuit pants are all wet. Weren't you at the beach? Are you itchy? I'm like, I like it. I prefer to wear my wetsuit all day. Okay?
Why is Andrew jerking off in the changing room?
So
I'm not. I'm just trying to show everyone. It's not that small.
Can't shower with the guys because I have a baby dick, a boy's dick. And then after, in the next class, I look like I wet my pants to the next group of friends when I'm in economics class, and I look like I've soiled the back of my pants because I'm wearing like wet bathers underneath. And I'm going, no, I don't need a shower. Hey, I shower just once a week. That's for our religion. But dude, the teacher that went in, Do you think that is a lot? We were like year 9, so we were.
I never had that. I never had that in
14.
high school or in intimate. Like no, none of them. There was never a teacher present in any of the locker rooms.
Dude,
That's
there
creepy.
was one Asian guy that used to take all his clothes off to change, and then I swear he put his shoes on first. He was doing his shoes as he sat on the bench. And he didn't have that big a dick, but he was just like, had old man energy. You know when you're 90 and you no longer care? Because you've had so many divorces and you're just broken. And you're like, yeah, whatever.
There's something special about being able to walk around a locker room just completely nude. Like every time I went to when I was, I don't know, maybe 15, like there was some gym in like in the like CBD of Christchurch I went to.
Yeah.
And every time you went in there, there's just some dude going from sauna to shower back and forth with his cock out.
Naked. Do you know what happens is they want that big dick energy to intimidate you, but when you call them out, they're ashamed. You're going, you've got a monster. Look at it. It's a monster dick. And then suddenly they put the towel on. He's got a fucking python. Look at that big python. Oh.
Well,
and
how's
then
that
you
with
see them race away.
Because like, how's that taking your kids to the like any sort of public pool? I assume that you having to sort of shield them from old man genitals all the time.
Oh man, I don't like having my kids naked because we've got a local beach and everyone's friends. It's like neighbours from Ramsay Street. Like everyone knows each other, and there's even like the paedophile cast member where they're going, he's done his time. He's allowed to enjoy the beach as like any of ours. And they'll go, that's the pedo. And then you'll see me changing my kids and I'm like, get out of here, get out. Like he's like a fucking seagull looking for chips. But my favourite is because we know him and you're like, look, it's like a fox in a hen house. We're like, we know there's a predator down there. It gives you a bit of excitement. Come on, kids, run up to the change rooms before old Jimmy chases us. But I love people that don't know the landscape and you'll see him chatting to a mum that's new to the beach. Going, oh, she's growing so strong and big. Oh, look at her, and getting her to laugh. And we're like, he's fucking grooming. The mum going, he seems nice. He seems nice. And I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking paedophile, of course. Your kid's a winner.
And that's gone, dude. That's like, they don't have that. They don't have old man pedos on the street where you're like, watch out for house number 34 anymore.
Yeah,
it's sad. Yeah. It's like that's part of culture that's gone, and we may never get back.
Dude, you know what I loved is they were always pedophiles. You just didn't care 80 years ago. Like we act like it's been invented recently. It was the fact like growing up, I was like, oh, you could just ride your bike on your street. You wandered around. And then I'm like, but you also did get molested, but nothing was done about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I was saying that story of that kid at my primary school that got tied up in the local swamp and molested, I'm pretty sure. And he ended up just getting bullied.
What do you? Hold on, I vaguely remember this. Who tied him up?
Well, we had a kid, and they go, "Oh, Jim. Oh, I forget what his name was. Stephen got tied up in the park. He was found naked, tied to a tree, and we were like, "Ha ha! What a prank!" But it was a local paedophile had molested him, and then we all started bullying him, going like, "Oh, we'll tie you to a tree. Look at you!" And then he had to change schools. Because the pedophilia wasn't bad. It was
because he had trauma, man. He needed to go to a school with a fucking counsellor.
And we're like, you got fucking pranked by that old man, didn't you? But I told you the story of we had the teacher that took a kid to the movies when we were about 9.
No, what do you mean?
Okay, we had Mr. Van der Buchen, and he was...
Wait, was he South African?
We called him Mr. VDB.
Was he South African?
He might have been South African, man. All the bad people are South African.
That sounds pretty fucking Safa.
Dude, South Africans don't respect human decency. It's all fine. Take from the weak, hey. But dude, he fucking took our, a girl from our school, she was in a dysfunctional family, to the movies. Warwick Shopping Centre. She got food and watched one of the movies. And the worst part was we were all jealous. We're like, why? Why doesn't Mr. VDB take me for a Saturday morning movie? And he got, later on we realised he got convicted for paedophilia.
Oh, he was done for it.
Yeah, but I was saying growing up,
Damn,
We were
dude.
so jealous. I'm like, oh, who wants a fucking gold sticker for doing good writing? I want to go to this movie on Saturday and be molested in a van by the man. But you didn't think it was molestation. You just thought, like, we've got shit parents. Because I was saying it on another pod. We realised we grew up in a rougher area. We're like, my best mates, dad used to sell, I think he sold meat door to door. Then you know,
Man, that's not a job. What do you mean?
He's selling
What do you
cuts of
mean?
meat. He's selling cuts of meat in an Esky door to
Man,
door.
that was a joke ad I did the last pod.
Oh, really? No, it's true.
You
No,
can
he
get it
did-
delivered to your door. Get a hot box of meat to your door. What the fuck?
No, he did windscreen repairs and he was killing it. He would knock on your door and then put in new windscreens. We should, you know, back in the day, that used to be the highest day. You knock on a granny's door and say your roof needs to be redone, and you tell that you know she's too old to climb up and check it. So then you just sit on a roof for 2 days and a half and take $5,000.
Oh yeah, that's a real like a real gypsy move. Come around and be like, oh yeah.
Oh, your roof's about to collapse. It's all leaking. Oh, what is it? I'm so worried. And then
A
you just sit
classic
on the
scam.
roof smoking.
A classic scam for the elderly.
Dude, but yeah, the thing is, I don't know why you scam them like that, because if they're that dumb, you could just walk in and take money from their purse. Like you don't need to do a scam where you sit on a roof for 2 days. You just literally walk into their back bedroom and go, hey, yeah, this is my wife's bag. Bye. You know,
I guess if you can invoice.
I've got, yeah, whatever. Go on.
I guess if you can invoice, like it sort of legitimizes the scam. You can get away with it. You know what I mean?
Dude,
Like, I wonder how difficult it would be to get into aged care facilities around your local area.
Dude, well, they've done it to my parents. We had door-to-door sales, and it was solar panels. They've arrived in dark at about 8 o'clock knocking, and then I see my mum and dad at the dining room table, and they're coming through to get their credit card, and I'm yelling, going, they're a fucking scammer. Get them out of the house. And they're like, shut up. They can hear us. And I'm going, dude, no one's installing solar panels at 8 o'clock with a good deal. Tell them to get the fuck out. And my dad's like, don't you disrespect. We've got a brilliant. No, I've got to do the accent. We've got a beautiful deal here, Andrew. And I'm like, you fucking. And then I'm like, I've almost got to chase them out of the hen house. I'm like, get out of here. And they're going, they promised they were going to do us a big favor and install it tomorrow if we signed tonight. So they said, I'm like, Dad, think about it. You didn't know these people. They knocked on your door in the darkness. That's not a good deal. You know, someone with
their boiler room selling your parents on solar panels at 8 at night, and they're totally falling for it.
And I'm yelling. I'm like, it's a closing tactic. I did it all the time in the stockroom. The urgency special deal has to be done tonight. And he goes, we've got a special deal. We'll do it tonight if you sign up. And I'm like, it's weird that he knows that, Dad, because he didn't fucking ring anyone. So I don't know where his scheduling of the supplier has happened. Have you thought about that? He said he's had a gap clear up. If you pay tonight, he can install it and it'll be on that special deal and it'll be put in tomorrow. And I'm like, it's strange, Dad, because he didn't communicate with anyone external to verify any of this shit. It's all made up. But,
and this is like how when I was growing up, every time there was a virus on the computer, it was my fault, right?
Yeah.
But then as soon as I get my own computer, there's viruses on like Dad's computer or Mum's computer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what's happening? What's happening? I'm like, oh, it's weird. I haven't even been touching it. What the fuck's going on? Maybe you're the idiots.
Viruses save me though, because you look at filthy porn. And then your parents were like, what's all this? And you're like, it's a bloody virus, Mum. There's virus. You know, like filthy MILF, shoving shit. You know, MILF, shoplifter.com. And I'm like, there's bloody viruses there, Mum. We need to get our Norton antivirus jacked up. And it's like, but this is in the history folder. And I'm like, it's a virus, Mum. I'm not looking at any of this shit. But we had it.
I think a big one for like... It's like when I was growing up, right? Because you're like 14 years old, like trying to look up porn, right? But you're 14, so you're horny for other 14-year-olds. So all of a sudden you're on a fucking watch list because you're basically like just nonchalantly trying to look up child pornography.
Did you
as
look
a
for
child?
Young? Because I thought like I had such low self-esteem. I used to look up like 40 to 50-year-old sort of broken housewives and jack off to that. Because I'd see them around my neighborhood and I go, that lady looks so sad. And I'm like, that would be a real shot for me to get some sex. I didn't think there was ever a chance I could appeal to my contemporaries. I thought, look at that old woman with a cat. I'm sure I could grab her wrinkly tits and fuck her.
No, man, I'm trying to find Sarah Gray from my like year 8 classroom.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Like I'm looking for that.
You had an ego. I was getting bullied by them.
No,
I was
not
like,
an ego. I'm just like, I wonder what she would look like naked.
Do you know what? You know what would kill me? We had a little dog, so my mum would do one lap of our block, and that was the time I had to log in, download porn, and jack off to. Which is why the reason I'm premature ejaculator now, because I have to do it. I have to copulate within 3 minutes, or she was knocking on the door, and I'm like, come on. And then people are like, dude, you're a fucking quick draw. And I'm like, yeah, because I had 3 minutes when she did a lap of the fucking block with our tiny dog to
Were they
jack
trying
off.
were they trying to catch you?
They never caught me, man, but I'm sure they could tell.
Yeah, I know, but that's what, because I think about, like, same thing, like, surely could tell, but I know my parents would have been giving me the space, you know what I mean? Like, don't go in kind of thing.
Dude, I have it now because I'm living with my parents and I'm listening to porn in the back bedroom, and then suddenly the penny drops where you turn it off and you can hear them talking. I think he's up. And you're like, oh my God, if I can hear them from the other side of the house going, he's up again, I wonder when he's going to move out. And you're like, oh, they must have heard that big housewife tied up. And I'm like, oh my God. But you hear your dad's sleep apnea mask, and you're like, oh, he definitely heard it. Because I just have it playing loud.
Why not headphones, man?
Because it makes it more titillating, man, knowing that they have to hear it. It's like
how big is your parents' house? I don't think we've talked about that.
Dude, it's sort of it's just one of the standard storage containers that all the working class are in.
Yeah, but like,
slowly pay off.
How many bedrooms in the storage container?
It's 3 bedroom. My room, my dad.
It's 3 bedrooms.
It's 4 bedroom. 4 bedroom.
4 bedrooms.
4 bedroom house, but it's in a dip. So when it rains, it's like, do you know, it's in almost like in Minecraft where you dig down. The street is at higher than our roof, so we're low. The driveway goes down, and the drive's not for 2 cars, and the parking bay is 1.5 car. So when you get in, you have to almost climb out the window because you're touching the other car. Okay. But it's sort of, it's below ground. It's very much like a mole's tunnel.
Are your parents still in the same bedroom? Well, I guess that'd have to be because you haven't really given them
dude,
space.
did you have that when you'd have parties and your brother had sex in your parents' bedroom? I never had the opportunity, but you'd come in and you're like, what the fuck?
No, I was the oldest. And the thought of having sex, and I remember I was watching, this was so long ago. It was one of those shows like Seventh Heaven, or like some teen thing, but there were like a bunch of morals, and there was one like very special episode where like one of them was gonna fuck her boyfriend in like the parents' bedroom. It was like, ugh, why? They always creep me out so much. Like, why not just your room?
Dude, well, I had it with my brother, with his girlfriend, and then you come through and they're lying in your parents' sheets, and he's acting normal, like nonchalant about it. Do you want to grab breakfast? And I'm like, what are you fucking, like, there's 3 photos of the 3 kids above the bed, and I'm like, you piece of shit, get out of my bed.
Why is he doing that in their room?
Dude, I don't know, because I wanted the bigger bed, and I'm like, get out of there, you motherfucker. I've got a photo of me above, and I'm like, that's mum's fucking good cushion. You know how old people have everything's good cushion. There's some weird sponge. That's a special IKEA sponge that cleans better. You've broken it. But they were in there. But you know, you're talking about Seventh Heaven. That guy got done for paedophilia, eh?
Which one?
The dad.
Really?
And he admitted it. He said, look, I'm going to seek treatment. I've just been reaching out to younger girls. Things happen. I love that he just embraced it. He did a full video because it was like a Will Smith video. Do you know how where you're getting cucked by your wife? And she goes, you go online and you apologize and we'll stay together because I need your Seventh Heaven money, fuckhead. Do you know what I mean? So then he's doing like a face-to-face, and he was just saying, look, I didn't do much. You know, it's just a bit of stroke play. Hey,
Which it was like the main guy. Is it Stephen Collins, the main dude?
yeah, the
Oh,
pastor.
there he is. Sexual misconduct.
Dude, you know what I think happened? He committed to the role of a pastor. You know, he was too method. As soon as you're in the church, you're going to start doing some rapey.
Oh my God. 2014, he admitted to past sexual abuse of a minor under the age of 14. Jesus Christ. He'd been investigated in 2012.
Do you know he's a pastor on that movie?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Like Seventh Heaven is like a...
Dude, well, think about it. He would have method acted. He would have gone to the Catholic Church and then just really committed to the role, like Jim Carrey did with that Andy Kaufman bit.
Dude, that's crazy. And so in 2012, right, they investigated a claim that from 40 years earlier, from 72, there was some sexual abuse, and they were like, "Oh no, we'll leave it alone. Don't worry about it." And then in 2014, in People magazine, he admits to the specific years: 3 female minors in 1973, 1982, and 1994, and nothing happens. That is, man, that's crazy.
Well, it was like what happens in those, like with Will Smith. You know, when he had to start doing that pod, where whatever Jada was talking about how like she had fucked Smith's son's friend, and he was like, yes, and she goes, I wasn't feeling satisfied, and Will's sitting there just being cucked. So you understand, even during that thing at the Oscars.
Do you think that's probably not what he was expecting when he was singing about the new millennium? You know what I mean? In the new millennium, he wasn't expecting to get cucked by some bald bitch.
Dude, and the worst thing, he had to nod, and she goes, he's a small little pathetic man. Look at him there. A weak man. Yes, he's made most of our money, but look at that pathetic weasel of a rat. Sit there while your friend's son sucks me off. You fucking... And then, even when he slapped, it was a cuck move because he initially laughed and then he looked at his tormentor and thought, I've got to go. I've got to hit him. Or she's going to fucking beat the fuck out of me.
Man, he was doing what you were doing with Emo Dude. He was virtue signaling. He's like, oh, quick.
Oh, dude, I'm worried about that racist thing because that ghost bit that we did, I was telling you last night, I riffed it. Ghost on plane, that wasn't funny. People hated it. But then I changed it.
Wait, what did you say? What did you say about, how did you make it not funny?
Because this was my premise. I just go, ghosts on planes. And then I'm like, why aren't you laughing? That's funny, isn't it?
Right. And so you change. And what did you change it to?
And then I said, oh, well, you know, and then I did the ghosts. Why don't ghosts have clothes? And then I'm like, they're trying to scare people. Why aren't they around naked? You know, if you had a big black willy chasing you around the house or whatever. And then they hated that. And then I go, oh, it's weird because you've never seen a black ghost, have you? And they're, no, because they just become shadows. And that was very bad. When I got off stage, people hated it.
I got some nice feedback on my my Down syndrome goes, I'm very spooky line that you didn't laugh at, which I thought was very rude.
Oh, mate, do you know the only feedback we got on it is your ads. Everyone else is, I'm warming to it. I'm like, did you listen? Like, of the 10 people that came from this Matt and Shane, did you enjoy it? Yeah. You warm to it. You know, there's a lot there, a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's up and down.
Man,
you know?
that is a through line, dude. That is a through line on both the people who initially hated you on the subreddit and people who have subsequently like reviewed Sure Thing on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. They're like, man, give it some time. Like if you spend long enough listening, the episodes are so long. Eventually, you begin to develop some kind of like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like if you spend enough time with him, you're like, you know what? He's quite funny. In between all the rapes, he's quite a charming character.
I don't think people give a shit about the ads though.
No, but I must say, man, so that pod is the nightmare stuff, like what I'm saying. Normally you've said something offensive, you wake up and you just apologize to like one mate and go, I'm sorry, man, I talked over you. I obviously said your wife is a stinker and that you should leave her. It's a bit of a joke, tongue in cheek. She's not a whore, a boring whore. She's a beautiful woman. You're trying to backtrack, but you can't really do it on a pod. But the pod was hard, man, because the riffs in the green room were better. And then by the time the pod hit, I was blackout drunk. And the best part was there were 2 false starts that were too offensive. And then that's why I ripped into Matt, because he had said, I'm like, just keep it in, it'll be all right. And then I started going, oh, who are you anyway? You're a fucking coattail bullshit. But it's all a joke. I didn't execute it well, but it's like, it is funny to mock someone for abandoning their family when they're only the opener. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot. I'm like, fair enough if you're going and you're going to be, you're doing something proper, but if you're basically an unknown that's doing 10 on the front, I'm like, come on, dude.
They're the dudes, man. It's like, it's both of them. You know what I mean? Like, you
Dude,
can't...
it happened with my ex because when we had the baby, 2 nights in, I tried to do an open mic and she was like, you're sick. Unpaid open mic. I was going to drive off to do 5 minutes. And she was like, you're a fucking narcissist. I'm like, come on, girl. I need to get some stage time up. And it's an unpaid lineup show. And they're like, are you booked? I'm like, nah, you sign up on the night. I've got to bring 2 friends. And she goes, well, can you stay
you can at
and
least
change
lie.
nappies?
Come on, man.
What?
You can at least be like, yeah, I'm booked. Yeah, I'm headlining.
It's unpaid. And she goes, you're just going to get drunk. And I'm like, yeah, that's comedy. That's the only reason I do it. Do you think it's fun amusing strangers? I go to get free drink tickets and conceal my alcoholism. Where I'm like, oh, another gig. Oh, I've got to keep working, mum and dad. I'm like, that's weird because you seem to drink drive home from every gig. You're not actually doing stand-up.
Speaking of, dude, how good is Dane Cook marrying that 20-year-old? I love that.
When did he meet her?
He met her the day she turned 18.
Dude,
she turned 18 and he was like, oh, very fortunate that I've shown up on your birthday. Can I help you blow out these candles?
Dude, blow this out. He is proof that you can't get married. Because if you look at the early videos, he's quite hot. Now he looks like a fucking cyborg. And I'm like, look at... The only way she would be attracted... Do you know on the honeymoon, you'd have to keep showing footage of his down and dirty at MCG or where was it? Madison Square Garden footage to keep reminding her. Do you know? Because if she looked at the real product now, he's fucking... He almost doesn't look real bad. He looks like his head... He looks like Frankenstein. He's got that big head now.
Look, man, there are some good photos and there are some bad photos. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm looking now. Like, yeah, there are ones where he has his head's way too long. But
dude,
there are
some. He could be in like Alien, and they just put green paint on him, and he'd be good. He could come out of a shuttle, and they'd be like, we don't really have to do any special effects on you. We'll just paint you green. You paint him green, and he comes out of a shuttle. People are screaming. So this poor 18-year-old, hey, because think about it, he's not getting better looking. Imagine in 10 years.
Man, dude, this is like Seinfeld met that girl in a park, and he's like 34,
yeah.
and then she turned 18 like 3 days later, and then they started dating like 3 days later.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because that's that limitation, that crossing of the line. He's still a creep. Because he still had an erection around a 17-year-old. You know, maybe he didn't touch. But he still had a boner at the park. And I'm like, that makes you a predator. When she's playing hopscotch, you're like, well, she's 17 and a bit. I'm like, yeah, well, explain your erection, you slime bag. It's not like you were fucking chatting to your soulmate. You know, dude, I would like to see what people jack off to. Because it should be a crime with that. Do you know, like what you were saying, when you were younger, you're watching 14-year-old, because
not watching, by the way, looking for. I don't think I was very successful in building a database of child pornography.
The thing is,
I was just naively, as a 14-year-old, like not thinking, not understanding.
Because you find looks aren't important to me, it's personality. Like, because a 20-year-old is so annoying that even if they're a 10, they become a 3 after one of their corny jokes where they're like, haha. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they do a word play, I'm like, you are ugly. You might have you look pretty, but fuck, you're ugly. You know, I need to be made amused as the, you know, I feel like, amuse me. Don't you think? Like a court gesture, they have to be charming. I'm like, yeah, you can lie around, but I don't know. I'd rather just jack off on the internet. I need personality, man. Don't you think?
Yeah, you do need personality for anything long lasting. Or if you really want to have sex with the 18-year-old at that age, right? You need to be ready to commit to like 5 years of follow up. It's like what we were saying with the like waking up and she's like, she's like, oh, did we have sex last night? You know what I mean? Like and then you're calling, like, hey, you want to go out again? Like, how are you? What's happening? You gotta do that. You gotta.
Well, what you really want
commit.
is a hot girl with like an earpiece and a smarter girl doing her lines. Do you know, like in that thing with?
Or to just have sex with someone who's like an appropriate age, who's attractive, right?
You know that Steve Martin movie where he's the jerk? That's my dream. Where I'm like, oh, dude, we've had sex, and I'm like, put in your earpiece again. I want some decent banter.
So you want to have sex with someone who is like almost like verging on criminally young. Let's say barely legal.
No, not young.
No. Wait. You want someone who's criminally like barely legal, but then they have the earpiece in of like me or one of your friends who you can riff with.
And it's
your ideal woman would be someone who's like somewhere in like the 7 to 10.
No, dude,
but they have a Bluetooth headpiece, and I'm on the other end.
Dude,
and
that's my dream.
The pillow talk is just you and me riffing.
Not that age, man, because I'm inclined for the older ones. It's always been my thing.
No, 7 to 10 on the. Like,
I'm talking 40, 50.
I'm saying how attractive you find them, you fuckhead, not their age, not a 7 to 10-year-old.
Okay,
creep.
so this is my dream. So
your mind shouldn't go there. If someone says 7 to 10, you shouldn't be like, what? No, that's too young. 15 at least.
No, but dude, I'm saying, so I want like a hottie, and you're on a mouthpiece, and then when we have sex, I can see you through the window because it's Bluetooth, so you can't be too far away. But then I can pull the curtain shut and go like, unplug, girl. You can take out your earpiece. We're going to get down and dirty. And I'm like, you just make sounds, right? Don't talk. But that sounds very rapey, dude. And I don't like what you're saying, 7 or 8-year-olds. Jesus Christ.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I said
what the fuck are you talking about?
7 to 10 on your scale of attractiveness.
Oh, on age. I thought you were. I was like, why is he making it devious? Like, I just wanted a pretty girl with like my mate doing the headset speech. Chatting and going, yeah, oi, we should go and grab a pie and watch some of the footy later on. I'm like, yeah. And it's in a female voice. And I'm like, you're talking my language, girl. And she goes, you know what? I don't think you're getting drunk enough. I want to see you tonight shit your pants. I'm like, oh, yeah. She goes, like, I want you to not come home for 3 days. And
do you know how much worse that is? The thing, like the layers to which you're sort of saying, like, firstly, women aren't funny. But I think even deeper than that, you're unable to connect with one.
What do you mean? I said they were funny. I said I want a funny girl on a headset. They are funny ones.
You said you wanted me on a headset and a hot girl.
You put that in there. I wanted a girl. Girls, look, you got Gatsby. The comedy's going a different direction.
Why can't you have a hot girl who also is funny?
What I want to be made to laugh. So a hot girl with Hannah Gatsby on a headset ripping out her jokes. And really having a laugh.
Why can't the hot girl?
Well, I want a funny girl like Gatsby.
Why can't the personality be in the girl? Why does it have to be through a headset?
It's not possible. God doesn't design them like that. You can't have all of it. Do you know? Some people are cursed. Like we were saying last week, some people are disabled. Maybe God's because they're an asshole. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you don't have a leg because God wants you to be humble because you're a bad person.
How's
we might edit that out, hey?
Well, we might not. How's the TikTok addiction going? Are you unplugged?
Do you know what I was, because I've talked about it on the drunk pod and I've been talking about Tate for a bit. I can't fucking stand that guy anymore. I'm out. He is short-lived.
Well, do you think the breaking point was when I said to you, man, like this guy is just a proud boy? Like Gavin McInnes was doing this in 2005.
I saw him going like the big G, and then I saw a photo of him yet again doing some clip from his Bugatti, and I was like, okay, I'm out. Fuck you, you fucking meme comic. He lasted about a week for me. Fuck, he's annoying. But dude, I actually had a bad thing now because I saw the new Tim Dillon clip that he uploaded.
Because I didn't know enough about Tate, right? And then when after the pod, I was looking him up, and he the thing, like the big thing that sort of kicked him off was he posted a video to YouTube saying that he moved to Romania because what was it? It was
he's getting chased in the UK for sex crimes, I think.
Oh,
The people
I
trafficking.
think it's been removed from his Wikipedia now. So I think he's trying to fucking get it, like wipe it from his Wikipedia. Oh no, that's right. He said it was that in Romania it was easier to be absolved of rape charges.
Yeah,
that was.
Because the thing
And
is,
you were like, he's so funny.
you can get saturated of anyone. I think that's what happened with me on the Gillis pod. Like for about 10 minutes, they thought, wow, he's a crazy character. And then I think by the time they're on the pod, they go, I hate this guy. God, he's taxing. He's taxing as a human being. And then the next day, I'm messaging, and I don't know if you've seen Swingers, the movie, where someone rings too much, and he eventually goes, do you know, I kept messaging, and they were sort of liking it and going, chill out, you're going to be all right. And then eventually, they didn't respond to one of my messages, and then
What
I
were
got
you
angry.
messaging? Can you please find?
I might
what
send
you were
it, but you know
messaging?
what eventually happened? I sent something and go, sorry, mate, I'm pestering you too much. I don't know what's going on. He didn't answer to it. And then for a few hours, I thought, you know what? I'm going to fucking block him. I'm blocking this guy. Like with Gillis, I got carried away. I'm like, it's fuck up. I messaged too much. I keep ringing, going like, I'm not being weird, am I? And then I go like, you know what? I'm going to block you. I'm going to block this cunt. I'm out. He's fucking, we got to start again. I fucked it up. I'm messaging. I'm like, and then now I'm scared to even like their shit, and I really should block both of them. Like I can't handle it anymore because I'm so humiliated.
Very neurotic. Any sort of brush with fame, you become incredibly neurotic quite quickly, don't you?
Dude, well, I went from, hey, great night, look, you'll be fine, bit of a laugh, to eventually going to mates, I think I'm blocking him. I'm fucking furious. Initially apologising. Mate, it's like the swinger scene where you just keep ringing and go like, I've gone through a divorce. I'm living with my parents. I'm acting a bit needy. But of course I was going to do, because it was like, it's like what I said in that other pod. It's like, because we're in a hick town, I was telling him like they get lines overnight for a Donut King opening. So when Gillis, it's like Uganda where they get their first escalator and everyone for a week's riding it. The family's going on holidays to ride the escalator. So when he comes in town, that is Donut King on drugs.
Guess what we are doing today? We are going to the mall.
Dude, 100%.
The escalator is amazing. You
So
can
for
go
me-
upstairs and downstairs without moving at all.
For me,
I like the idea that right, you get in the mall and they get the escalator, but it's only the first half. So everyone's riding it up and then they're walking back down to riding it again. Like they're at Movie World.
Yeah, they got that. Man, like non-playable characters in the side thing of a game. But do you know what? You know what's a lot? It means so much because you're in a hick town, but it's nothing to them. So do you know what I mean? Because Donut King's a big deal to us. Like I reckon at my funeral on the wake invite, it'll be that photo I had, not with him, me peering from behind the curtain, looking at him perform. And they go, rest in peace, Andrew Wolfe. He died because I think I'm going to die, dude. I've been smoking so much. Even in the green room with them, I've got like black lung. I coughed up yellow liquid today. Looked like urine out of my mouth.
The first thing you messaged me, you said, I'm taking the kids to school. I just had to do a vomit.
Dude, but it was like urine out of the mouth, like this yellow liquid. And I was,
do you know? I think that you might be the last person to run on the four humors system of medicine. You know what I mean? Like not. It's for you. It's like black bile, yellow bile, blood, and whatever the other fucking one is.
Do you know on mine sites how they
bile?
On mine sites they like check your urine, how yellow is it? I'm like, what about the vomit? What color vomit's safe? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the bile that you spit out every morning after smoking too many packs. I'm like, my urine's red and my bile's green at the moment. And they're like, bile, you're going on a helicopter to the hospital, man. But so I spat, and I wasn't even that drunk. I spat some phlegm shit, yellow fluid, but whatever. It's Bernie.
Bernie? It's Bernie coming up?
It burns all my throat, so it's just from the stomach. So it's all right.
Jesus fuck, man.
It's not from the lungs. I was excited. It's Bernie, so it's stomach acid. So I'm like, I'm good.
What did you eat yesterday?
What did I have? I had my standard thing. I went to the shops, bought food for my kids because I don't have enough money, and then sculled a choc milk. I had 3 choc milks, and then ate whatever they didn't, just some scraps. And then sometimes at night I sneak through and steal bread My parents' bread.
Man,
That's
did you
what I'm
see
living
that?
on.
Did you see that? You see that New South Wales had what's the fucking thing called? The Goodman Fielder factory, this big bread factory, burned down, and so now there's a shortage of Wonder White.
Oh man, imagine the hack comic that would go like, "Oh, toast." They'd do the toast joke. You know they'd have it.
Oh,
Hey, with
I
the
didn't
bread.
think about that. Yeah,
They'd
that's
be
horrible.
like, "Oh, I like it."
Goodman Fielding factory is burned down, but good news, guys. Plenty of toast for everyone.
I heard things were pretty toasty over there.
Oh man,
Someone
but
needed a big jar of butter for some
man,
hot.
I was thinking, is that not like almost a good way to exercise population control? You know what I mean? Like people who are relying on Wonder White, it's like just cutting off the supply and having a few of them die off. Like if we could turn off and on certain foods, like we could probably better the.
I reckon you could use Wonder White to patch over a wall if you glued it on. It's fucking. Do you know how you do those punch holes in your kitchen when you're angry? Going, shut up, mum. I'll get a job when I want to. Bang, bang, bang. And you could patch over. But like that, but I like Wonder White. It's a beautiful
of course
toast.
you do, man.
It's
That's
toast.
exactly the sort of white trash thing that you would love.
Dude, I would like Pop-Tarts even more. I would just like fake stuff. I don't want anything real from the environment.
I
want astronaut ice cream.
I'm saying if we cut the brakes, right, on
Dude, is this all right? We've got a guy editing it. He can't hear us and he's just staring there. And it feels like I'm a doctor and he's in the waiting room. We're like, we'll be with you soon, sir, for your prostate exam. He can't hear you and he's had to sit here. He's not getting paid. He's not getting paid by the hard yarns either.
He's just learned that, by the way. He's just learned he's not getting paid.
He's not getting paid. And then I was trying to negotiate.
Know. He thought he was getting paid until that moment.
I tried to negotiate to buy his camera very cheaply because I'm like, if the fact he's coming here means he needs money desperately. And I'm like, it's $1,200. I go, I'll give you $500. You obviously need the money and a bag of Wonder White bread.
I'm just saying, right?
Wonder White slices.
If we cut the brakes on the what's that iced coffee thing? The ice break coffee. If we cut the brakes on the ice break coffee truck, right? I reckon we could take out a few undesirables.
Dude,
who without their caffeine fix would probably fall off the scaffolding on the work site.
You would wipe me out immediately because I've only recently realized that I'm an adult now and I can eat whatever I want. So I'm just living the kid's fantasy. I'm like choc milks, beer, cigarettes.
You've been doing that since you were last here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. Like, because I remember growing up, eat your veggies, and then I realized, I'm divorced now, I can do whatever I want, and I'm like, I'll just drink 2 liters of choc milk. It feels better. Obviously, that might be what.
It doesn't feel better, man. You
feel amazing.
You're throwing up yellow.
Yeah.
Phlegm.
But do you know how good it feels?
It's burning.
Do you know how good it feels when you're hungover and you drink that first liter of choc milk without a breath? You feel like heaven.
So fucking despicable.
A liter without even taking a breath, and you go, hold that thought at the job centre where you're getting it well. Hold that thought, and then you scull a liter of choc milk, burp, and go like, I don't know why they're not hiring. I'm doing the interviews. I've got options, but obviously
we could kill you with a cut off to the oat milk supply, and that
would wreck it, dude. It would be like a junkie that gets in jail. And I'm immediately sucking a dick in the shower to get my heroin. I'm like, give me some fucking chocky milk. I'll be like, I'll be trying to make mud with sand and mud and going like, it's sort of the same. Hey, if you mix water with mud, that will do. But yeah, I like to have choc milk every hour, like a cigarette. To keep my energy up on the hour. Dude, I want to bring out a backpack of choc milks to nightclubs so you can have a chocky milk in the alley. After partying?
Is Goodman Fielder publicly traded?
Of course, man.
They must be taking a dump.
What, dude? It's fucking bread. How much money can you make from bread? I've got my uncle. My uncle's doing that. He's trying to sell chickens. And I'm like, dude, you can buy them from the shop for about $6. I'm like, how many chickens? He's got a small backyard. He's trying to catch chickens in South Africa. That's the only way they've got money. And then my parents are always talking, oh, their car's broken down. That's pretty bad. It was a birthday. Why didn't they get it fixed? And I'm like, because he's poor, man. He's trying to sell chickens. Do you think if he had money, he wouldn't have looked after his car?
Man, what you're saying about what we're talking about. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
No, but you know what I'm saying with my premise? So many people say, oh, he's got such bad luck or he's unreliable. If you're poor, it turns out you are unreliable and have bad luck because you can't get your kids' teeth checked. So when you go into the dentist, they're like, we have to remove all of them. They've been on a diet of choc milk. And you're like, well, if I had a lot of money, I would have had fucking plastic surgery on this boy. You know, I already had a nose job to stop bullying. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the money. Do you know? Yeah, my car doesn't work because, I've been putting fucking choc milk into the petrol tank. I don't have fucking money, you dickheads. Do you know what I mean?
Understand. Yeah, I do understand that,
But they all judge you and go, oh, he's so unreliable. He's not there. And I'm like, yeah, because he had to get a bus and then walk for 16 minutes to get to your event where you got dropped off in an Uber.
I do understand that if you're poor, it's difficult to climb out of the hole. Yes,
and everyone judges you and go, he's unreliable, he's lazy, he has bad luck.
Oh,
and
that's so unfortunate. That's so annoying. Goodman Field is unlisted from the ASX in 2015. They must have been bought out.
Dude, I'm feeling so bad about this.
What?
Having the new video guy having to just stare there, you can't hear any of it.
Man,
it's not even worth it. No one even wants to look. I'm overweight. Like, who wants to see, life movement with this shit? I don't fucking work for it because I stare at the laptop. So it's just me like this. Oh, that's gonna get good dollars, hey, for the Patreon. Me going like this, just staring at you. I'm meant to be like selling it, going, yeah. What do you call Black Ghost? You know, killing it.
Is it spooks? Is the answer spooks?
Dude.
We can't keep that. We can't keep that.
Dude, but man, my molestation bit's going well.
Either fix it for the guy or fucking sort it out because we can't do a half pod because you're fucking worried about the video guy who can't hear me.
Yeah, but dude, I'm going to buy his camera off him. But the problem is the camera should be where my fucking stupid laptop camera is. So I'm looking at it. But instead, it's over there, so it looks like CCTV footage from the side.
What's the guy's name?
I'm not sure of his name. I just got him off Gumtree. Dude, you know what? He actually said.
I want to address him without being rude.
He can't hear you.
I know. So you're gonna have to fucking relay the message,
aren't you?
No, we're not
gonna do this now. We did that. Speaking of people getting off Gumtree, he and I are filming something, and we got we did we advertised that I was a professional flipper, and they go, come learn the craft. And we got a random guy to come along, and we filmed it. We actually filmed it, and I had $200, and I think within about an hour it worked out it was a scam just to buy shit.
Wait, what are you flipping? What are you flipping?
Well, I went to a garage sale, a deceased garage sale, and I was in there like talking like, I see some value there, and I'm like, put those down. I go, are you selling the urn with the ashes in? We're gonna make good money on that. And then during the thing, his mum rang and goes, where are you? And she goes, I'm with the flipper. And I tried to sell her. We're on voice. I tried to sell her a toasted cheese machine maker that I had bought for $10 from the flipping thing. And eventually it spiraled, and I ended up drunk at TAB, gambling the rest of the money on a horse, and it was all lost. And with a boot full of shit, of fucking knives, and this poor bastard had come in to try and learn flipping. He's a professional flipper. And he was in there, and I was like, keep up. And I was saying, look, I got to take my feet, shoes off. I like to feel the ground so I can feel the energy for a deal. I smell profit. And this guy filmed with me for 8 hours. 8 hours. He's trapped with me.
Did he get drunk with you? Like, did he go with you to the TAB and start betting?
It was such a weird. There's footage of him standing very awkwardly, looking around. He didn't know how to leave. And me using the rest of the money to gamble on a horse and then losing. And we go, I guess we're going to leave now. And we just sent him home. And we we basically just spent his money. We spent his money. And yeah, so
How
it was
much did
good.
you get him to? How much did you get him to spend?
We had $200, and now we've got a toasted cheese machine, a set of knives that he thought was silver, and but they were
He
fake.
thought it was silver.
I
told
ripped-
him he's a silver knife.
I ripped into him.
Is silver knives a thing? Because I don't think I've ever heard of silver knives
Dude,
before.
this was the funniest scene.
Oh, don't
Me-
worry, brother. These knives, I've seen these before. These are pure Japanese silver. You can melt
Dude.
these down.
No, he picked those, and after we got out, I dressed him down. Don't you ever show a hand like that. That's an awful purchase. But I had a toasted cheese machine and a fucking a weird drinking mug that we looked online worth $3. And his knives are probably the most valuable thing we got. The other thing was a 1940s toasted cheese machine that basically sparked up when I plugged in. It had electrical sparks, and I told him that we're going to make money on that. It was so good, man.
You're a
It
fucking
was real
idiot.
fun.
You're a fucking idiot.
But he's helping film that, Jamal.
Hey?
He produced it. Jamal, he's the sound guy.
Jamal's the guy, the video guy with you right
Yeah.
now? Yeah, yeah. Is
I always
Jamal,
get hard with names like Jamal. I'm scared that I pronounce it wrong. Eh? Do you know,
Jamal-
like, because I'm like white and privileged, I only really know like Steve and, you know, like generic names. Darren. Anything. No, Jamal's actually quite normal. I don't know what I'm saying with him looking at me. He's looking so awkward. As I'm going like, I struggle to pronounce his name. He's sad having to watch me just talk randomly in the air. He's had to take his whole day off. He's not
Man,
getting paid.
Can you fucking put
He's not getting
put
paid.
Jamal on so I can
Yeah,
sort
come
this audio
stand
thing?
behind Joel so they can just see that you're
On Mother Nature.
Dude, that's the new riff. The black goes, they become shadows, and then I'm like, what? You're jumping at shadows. Dude, you know what I actually said on that thing for the ghost bit? I was like, oh, there's nothing there. I thought it was such a good thing, like the joke.
Yeah.
Ghosts. And then I was like, well, oh, there's fucking nothing there. Like, as in the double play, and the crowd didn't like it. Do you like that bit? Oh, shit, there's nothing there.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's very painful. It's painful.
Because it didn't get a laugh. They go, what's with ghosts? And I'm like, why aren't you laughing? That's a good joke.
Is that how you got into it? Or just with
This is why you go, what's
ghosts?
with ghosts? I go, why aren't you laughing? That's a good premise. And then I go, what? There's nothing there? And then they're fucking... I'm like, did you not get that reference? You not get that... Dude, I did one of the worst references.
That's very hacky.
I did the bit about the old lady saying you can't say cunt on stage.
Yeah.
And then I did like a hack. I fucking can't. I did the can't.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why?
but look, dude, it's an open mic at a fucking bar with 8 people. I'm workshopping. I'm working here. I'm
Yeah, but why are
walking
you bringing
here,
it
Jerry.
here? Why
What?
tell you're making it real?
We're real people, man. No one's really funny. It's all scripted.
God,
Even
you're a
this is scripted right now
You're
to
such a
show a
fuck.
little lull, and then we come back strong with the riff.
No, I'm leaving all this in.
Everything's scripted, man. Even what I'm saying right now is scripted to make you think, ooh, he's feeling vulnerable. That was part of the script. Am I doing it right, team? We've got a team of people creating this content. Does it look authentic? Yeah, we've lost focus, but will we come good? And then we build back. It's a sales technique. A loss of focus. Look, at the end of the day, fuck everyone. There was only 10 people that followed from Matt and Gibbon or whatever the fuck these people's name are. We don't care.
Our listenership did more than double.
Yeah, but dude, doubling's 0 to 1, 1 to 2 is not big. Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I mean, it was a lot.
It's big numbers to us, but to most people, it's humiliating. We're in now, I'm refreshing, going, there's two more downloads. I'm going to jack off.
You're
Some
too stressed.
divorce MILF porn.
You're too stressed, man.
Dude, once you're on the Pornhub, you start looking at worse and worse stuff, hey?
Yeah.
Well, I've gone down now. It's like very heavy set woman on the beach being picked up. And I'm like, I'm not even into them in real life. I'd see them at a pie shop and I just walk off. And now I'm like, I've run out of fucking options.
I need the romance. That's what I need to.
Oh, dude, I hate when they're just straight away doing it. I need where they're getting tricked.
It's like
you've been caught shoplifting and you're forced to have sex to not get jail.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, right, she's his roommate. She's just moved in. Ooh, things are getting spicy. I would have watched the pre stuff.
I can't watch clips where they just straight away and they always start with the blowjob, and I'm like, come on, I don't like the blowjob that much.
It's very hacky to start with the blowjob, don't you think?
Put the blowjob as director's cut at the end. No one goes for a fucking blowjob. I'm like, that's basically a guy's dick in a lady's face. Two things I hate. No, I'm just joking. That's so misogynistic. I had to do it. Two of my hates, my pet peeves.
Have you been on TikTok less?
Oh, dude, I saw Shields with that. And then not Shields, I saw, after Tim Dillon, I saw his clip he did a hacky vaccination thing for his Netflix. And then I looked and saw a Tate photo. And then when I just saw that Cobra tie and he had a cobra tattoo, I was like, this is like that Karate Kid sequel. It's so fucking embarrassing. He's got a bald head. The fact he got a snake tattooed, a cobra tattooed on his arm. He's such a meme moment. He's a no one.
Did you like?
I'm not on it anymore.
Well, yeah, because it's. I think it stops being ironic at some point. You know what I mean? Like you're watching it for a laugh, but then you're like, I hate. He's right though. Women are like
it's
this.
like what my kids do. Like we're doing riffs, and then one of them will go like, "Oh, wait, Dad, listen to this one. Listen." Poo, 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 poo. And you're like, you've wrecked the moment. The energy's off. You're trying too hard now. We were in a riff, dickhead. And I'm like, he's only 3, but I'm like, lift, dickhead. Like, you've killed the energy.
Is that the fat one or the regular? Is that the fat one or the regular one?
Nah, he's not fat anymore, man. He's fine. He's looking good. He looks like me. And I'm not fat.
I think the barometer for like fatness has changed. Maybe the bar has been lowered.
Dude, by American standards, I'm a fucking athlete. That's what I was saying to Gillis. I'm like, dude, compared to your fat friends like fucking Sam Talent and Tim Dillon, you are a model of health. Your physique. I'm like you. But you know what I mean? Like he is basically an athlete by American standards, and I am as well. Most of the people in America are in wheelchairs to move.
On the little rascal scooters getting around. It's very...
Dude, they're all in scooters. And then, you know what? They should have food in the basket of the scooter so they can eat. They never have that.
I think that's what the basket is primarily there for, man.
The basket is a hamper. Like, you know how you put a carrot on a stick in front of a donkey? That's how you get the move. Because there's a donut in their basket and you just lead them towards the job center. I'm going to say dole. No, we're trying to change the references. We call it the dole office. They call it, what do they call it? A second home. That's what Americans call it.
Don't worry. The majority of almost everyone who listens is still Australian. We can still say dole. We'll be fine.
Yeah, dole, man. But that's the basket. The basket's the incentive to get them moving. And there's the smell of a hot pie driving them out of their house, hey, with the wind blowing in their face. Like a dog hanging its tongue out the window.
Man, they keep trying to ban TikTok. I don't know how they haven't already. Like, it's so crazy. We were talking about it. It's basically the little red book that they've turned into a like digital edition, and they're showing dissent. So like, man, the fucking rabbit hole that your TikTok algorithm has gone down to the point where you're just watching some insane rapist in Romania.
You've got the wrong image because you think it's little kids dancing, but most of TikTok is now failed comics trying to upload clips. Hey.
Yeah.
Desperate, hacky open micers uploading. I've got new footage of me, and in the background, I've got images to distract you from the material.
But it's
photos
still
of like a ghost.
It's still sending everyone through like whatever political affiliation or alignment is sending them to the extreme of that, though.
Dude,
like,
do you know? I reckon that's where my life ended. Not TikTok. It was podcasts, because I used to chat to my wife and go like, how are you feeling? Why have you got a tear in the side of your eye? And now I'm just listening to Joey Diaz for the whole night. And she can hear me laughing. And I've got a headset in bed. We're lying back to back as I listen to the Church of What's Happening Now, howling and bouncing back. And she's like, she wants to keep talking about how the relationship's failing. But I'm listening to Joey Diaz, how he ripped off a Chinese delivery man, and just laughing out of turn. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I remember once I was on the pod and she goes, I want to smash your fucking face in. Because she just saw me there in underwear, listening to an American podcast, totally disconnected from our situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, it takes you out of the...
Yeah, I feel like I'm experiencing it now almost.
Well, friends say, do you want to hang out? And I'm like, no, I'm going to listen to Tiger Belly. Hey, it's better than your bullshit. You work at a mail office. What are you going to say? You suck. Yeah, I'm going to hang out with someone that works at a mail room. I listen to Tiger Belly. I'm going to lie in my house. And what are you doing for your 60th birthday, which is my age? I'm going to listen to Tiger Belly and cut a cake. Do you know what I mean? Like, podcasts are more entertaining than anyone you know in the real world. Like, look at these guys now, having the time of their life. Connecting.
Fucking retard.
Dude, this pod is unplayable. We've got it in our own head. I'm trying so hard. Let me read from my phone.
TikTok, Little Red Book, Sowing Dissent.
What is a little red book? I had a little black book. Is that you keep people that you bang and you want to ring up?
Kind of. It was what Mao made everyone have in the like during the Cultural Revolution, and it was like taught in schools. It was basically like the core pillars of the Communist Party.
And what was like
it was the Communist Party manifesto in a tiny little red phrase book.
Dude, that's why China's dominating, because they're one person. Because, you know, like a transformer where they all connect, they don't
like
have
Voltron.
They don't have an individual personality.
Planet.
They just have the little red book, and it's just like 1.5 billion people acting the same, so it becomes one human. And that's why they dominate.
That was the point of the political machine, right? Was to create like some insane unity. But then Mao obviously he dies, and that all fucks off, and then they do the it's essentially de-Stalinization, but with Mao. They're like, you know, like, oh no, he did some bad stuff, and you know, like it's all. Like,
dude, he did nothing wrong. He just had a bit of fun. But dude, I would like him that he's basically, you know, in Mad Max where they have that big giant and there's a dwarf operating it. It's just him with like a billion Chinese that are the person, and he's at the central control unit.
Dude, that is exactly that's what the CCP. I mean, I think is, but it definitely was, right? Like that was it. They were like, "Hey, new order, everyone. No more food. Everyone's like, instead of farming, you're all going to be making steel in your backyard. No one knows how to fucking make steel. So you've got like 500 million people trying to make steel at home. It doesn't work. And then as they're touring Mao through the countryside, everyone's like putting on a big show and like pretending like they're making heaps of steel. And what's actually happening is half of them are dying because there's no grain and they're all fucked. And that's the Little Red Book, right? Like that's what they handed out. And TikTok now, they've made this like digital Little Red Book. It's got dumb fucks like you on there.
Dude, I love it, man. I love it when I eventually...
dude, like you said, you start off, you're watching like people being stupid at supermarkets or annoying some old woman who's trying to, you know, like get up an escalator.
Oh, I love that.
It
Pull
slowly
her dress down.
Slowly pushes you until you're watching Andrew Tate videos.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah,
and
man, this rapist has some really good ideas.
Eventually, I'm trying to get traction. I'm uploading like Ed Sheeran songs as I create steel in my backyard. And I'm trying to go, oh, dude, this is the big trend. You got to do steel and send it to China with a weird viral song. I don't want to be a boy. I got the viral track, and we're all making steel.
How is that out of the question? You know what I mean?
Dude, it's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible.
If right now the big viral videos are sending money to China,
Yeah.
Hey, you go on PayPal and you just send money to Mao. You send them to the Chinese organization with a backing track and dance. And you're like, dude, I got 7 million downloads. I'm direct debiting my parents' money to this account. Do you know? And you have footage of you doing it.
Because what happens with any Chinese company, right, that gets big enough is eventually the CCP come in and they're like, yeah, we need to buy a portion of it, and they become stakeholders. Yep. And then TikTok has a CCP committee inside TikTok. Like they're on the board.
They're controlling it, man.
And they have what's called like a golden share. They buy a share that basically vetoes or outvotes every other shareholder.
I love that because then they invent everything. Because we were talking about it in the car, Jamal and I, who's going to be the new co-host of Sure Thing. We were chatting.
Oh, is he replacing you?
No, I was
that would be
talking about
nice.
like in China, and it's the same with the greats in the past. They took control of all the inventions. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the big businesses China just said, oh, we made it. Like what you're saying, once it gets critical mass, they can take control of it and then go, yeah, we invented Alibaba.
Well, it's not even about inventing it, right? It's like now they go they've already done this with the Xinjiang internment camps. It's like they just scrub it. You know what I mean? Like you go on TikTok, you can't look up Tiananmen Square on TikTok. That's not there. That's gone. And that's
100%, man. And then so all the build up is just stolen, and it's just basically you take the homework from the nerd and then you kill him, and he doesn't exist anymore.
Dude, imagine it's 1942, and Germany has direct control.
Jamal's asleep right now. I can't believe it. He fell asleep.
Imagine it's 1942.
Yeah.
Fuck your
Go.
Imagine, cast your mind back. It's 1942. And Germany has a direct feed into 1.5
propaganda.
A direct propaganda feed into 1.5 billion people across around the world. Like, are you telling me that we wouldn't nuke 5 cities to get rid of it? You know what I mean?
Dude, 100%. And then you think about it, like Hitler would have gone viral on TikTok and you'd be loving him. And he
absolutely.
is Tate.
He's Tate, man.
He's from Romania.
Dude, the move with TikTok, right? And I don't think this is even conspiracy theory realm. I think this is just very plausible, right? You've got access to over 1 billion people, basically what they're watching. You can slowly turn them. I think we talked ages ago about that Facebook experiment that they did. I don't know if you remember this, where they took a sample group of a few thousand people.
Oh, I loved it.
They started feeding them just negative keyword
to see if
posts.
they could put them into depression or
and they did, man. They did, and they absolutely did. These people started posting they were literally giving people depression through an algorithm,
dude. And they would have their friends won lotto, but they just kept saying, "My dog died. I missed her so much." And you're fuck, what a horrible day. The dog's died. Jenny's got cancer, and
they were spiraling.
Jeff's
these people,
made money
man.
on the fucking dogs. He's gambled, but they don't show you that. You're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
dude, you can control it all, and I think that's what's happened to me.
And so TikTok's got you, and they're like, okay, we'll make we'll send him off alt-right to this Andrew Tate guy, and we'll send this other person off. They're gonna listen to fucking what's that? Friendly Geordies.
Dude, that's why they got me, because I've been driving around and I thought, why not just hit a few people in my car? And I'm like, that's not me. That's TikTok. I'm like, why don't I mount this curb at school and just run over some of these deadbeat housewives? And it's TikTok that's putting it in my head.
Yeah,
I've been getting fucking brainwashed.
And you got that's a 1 billion people who are no longer worried about Taiwan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're too busy. They're too busy worrying.
Who's been there? Who's holidaying to Taiwan, man? No one cares. We talk about it.
You've got 500 million people angry about pronouns and the other 500 million people angry about pronouns. Right?
Taiwan always annoys you because every toy I've had for my kids, when I look and it's not working anymore, I can see made in Taiwan at the bottom as you're trying to redo the battery thing. No one has a positive relationship with Taiwan.
Bro,
it's always like, what the fuck? These walkie-talkies suck. And
What are the chances that it's not... What are the chances that it's not China putting out defective units and stamping made on Taiwan in there? So
Dude,
you're like,
I've had
yeah,
it
China
every
needs to take
Christmas
these
morning.
guns back.
Why is the robot dog not working?
What if you control all of global industry and you start sending out defective units going, made in Taiwan, made in Taiwan.
The dog's not working. It's got weird sounds. And I'm looking as I'm unscrewing, trying to put batteries in, and I see made in Taiwan. This faulty bullshit. Even the fact that they make the toys pin down so much, so it takes you an hour to try and get them out. So your kid sees you as incompetent. Dad, give me the toy. And you're like, give me a second, boy. And then you're reading instructions and you're trying to clip shit. And he goes, my damn's dumb as fuck. I'm not going to listen to it at all.
And
it's
bro,
like a robot dog. It takes you an hour to get it started.
And Xi Jinping is watching through your Xiaomi
out.
phone and going like, yeah, we got another one. He's now pro China's takeover of Taiwan.
Dude, I want Taiwan.
Dude, you just wait, man. Wait until it's like every time you go out and you get a frozen meal or something. You're like, oh, this tastes like shit. And on the bottom it says made in Tibet. And you're like, these Tibetans. We gotta get rid of these Tibetans,
man, because it's one less subject at school. There's no geography if it's all China. They're like, what's the capital? And you're like, China. It's all China. I'm like, and then geography is one less shitty subject that you're going to rote learn at school.
Fuck, man.
What's the world? It's China. Who's the capital? Meow, meow, beat. I don't know what his name. What's his name? In my head, it's always meow, meow.
Xi Jinping.
A cat meowing.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Oh, man. We've done bits on this. We can't go back in.
I don't know if we have done
it,
bits on TikTok being evil, man.
Yeah, man. Well, we should upload this to TikTok and see how it goes. Where we've exposed their scam.
We're not using TikTok, man. I'm not using TikTok.
Mate,
Dude, TikTok is the equivalent, man. TikTok is the equivalent of sitting around with a bunch of your mates or your lefty progressive mates.
I love what you're saying right now. I'm loving this.
And talking about how we need to do this and how we need to stop and Ukraine's so bad, and then taking a big fat line of coke and snorting that up, completely ignoring how it's stained in the blood of Peruvian school children, and then continuing on with your progressive rhetoric.
Dude, and they never do anything. All those progressives, all they really do is talk about what they're going to do, like, and challenge other people in social settings, going like, oh my God, what you said's disgusting. And I'm like, I've never seen you fucking do anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These progressives.
There's a lot of call out culture from people who are like real into coke. You know what I mean?
Dude, well, I've got a friend, and she called me out and said, like, obviously I'm abusing my parents and taking them for advantage. And I was like, mind your own business. But I'm like, what have you done? And then I see them crying and they're supporting these issues. But I'm like, you haven't changed anything. I'm like, it's the Jordan Peterson. I'm like, clean your room, lose some weight, and then maybe consider about changing the planet, hey? How about you stop putting cakes in your mouth after 10 o'clock, you fatty. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you're going to change the world. I'm like, clean up the skid marks in the back of your toilet bowl first. Do you know what I mean? They're not involved. They're not helping really. I'm helping more.
As soon as you put a straw up your nose, man, like your fucking your moral high ground disappears out the window.
Yeah, you know what kills people is when you're a sicko and you love it. And they go, oh, dude, there's Peruvians. They're not earning money. They have to stand on these like grapes doing wine. I'm like, oh, mate, keep talking. I'm loving this. That 100 people had to make my one line so I can talk down to people at a party and go, I'm better than you. I'm like, oh, dude, what a kick. Because you're snorting coke, so you don't really care. And they go, dude, a whole life was destroyed for this line. And I go, I'm omnipotent. I'm the all-powerful beast, aren't I? 100 families? I wish it was 1,000. Give me another line.
That's the only, dude, that's the only way to be, man. Dude, even cigarettes. Like, what's that fucking country where it's oh fuck, I saw this great documentary It might have been like a Vice short on some small third world nation where it's just billboards for Marlboro, but like at schools. You know what I mean? Like like you're walking into school and it's like Marlboro, get a delicious menthol down here, and these kids are just smoking. And it's like,
Dude,
man, that's the same
that
company, motherfucker. Like you're like.
My favorite footage is that footage in like Asia where there's a kid smoking. Do you know what I mean? Just, don't you like it? I tried to do that. I told you this on the pod before where a mum said, like, you've got to quit that habit. You're going to die young. And I'm like, not if I get my kids to smoke as well. We'll trim off the ears for them as well. I'm like, you're assuming my kids aren't going to smoke. I said, they're on a pack a day. We smoke away from the school.
You know, like what? Myanmar's the highest. It's like 45.5% of people. I think that might be the one. 45.5% of people smoke. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, I'd love it.
The tobacco industry is just completely raw there. Like, they're like just printing money.
Imagine if your kid went as an exchange student and he comes back.
Dude, Myanmar exchange student is a pretty good idea. That'd be so great.
And you're like, dude, I picked up their culture. And you're like, put that fucking cigarette in there. He's a chain smoker. Because I've embraced their culture. We make faulty toys and smoke cigarettes. Okay? Mate, I'm feeling bad for Jamal. We might have to finish soon.
What do you fucking mean, Andrew?
Okay, let's relax. It's just... I love that the first footage of me is me looking like I'm going to shoplift. Keep looking at the guy on the left. It's not me being relaxed.
Dan,
normally I'm more animated.
You don't want to sort it out. Like, if you don't want to sort the problem out, but you also don't want to relax and be cool, what do you want to do?
I'm going to relax, man. We need to do a good one. This is it for us. This is our 8 Mile.
So painful.
I know, man. This pod is always going to be hard.
I just wanted you to get a cameraman. Like, just a fucking webcam would have made sense. It's better than this. Not you, Jamal. You're great. This.
I can't hear you.
I know he can't hear me because you won't fucking sort it out. Install the drivers, cunt.
No, you don't. No, listen, Josh. You don't get angry with Jamal and say what you're saying right now. You respect this, man. Jamal, I'm cool with you. He's angry. Whatever you said there.
I can message him now.
You've had too many Dexies and you're lashing out because of your height. It's not my fault. It's not my fault that you can't see the top shelf of the Coles aisle. Whatever. He's messaging you now. Yeah, because he was apologizing and I said nasty stuff. I changed it. A switcheroo. He says he loves you too.
Yeah, I heard him, man. I heard him.
You guys don't even know each other, which means his comment is
and he is still so much more endeared to me than you are right now.
He goes, I love you. It's like me driving in my car and just yelling out the window, I love you. Like, what does it mean? Just yelling at random people crossing the street, I love you, you're important. They know I'm joking.
Jamal is important. He's coming and trying to help. You fucked it up. All you had to do is be you.
I can't believe I had one beer now, on brand. I had a beer. That's why it's gone a bit flat.
No, it's not. It's because you're freaking out that there's someone else in the room.
I need the numbers. I told my parents Gillis' number and they say, you do that and I need it tomorrow.
I hate you so much.
We need the Patreon. We need people to send money to us.
What?
For nothing. Just give us money.
Oh, I have so many premises and you can't get on board with any of them.
Let's do a new fresh fresh
fucking
Premi.
Retarded.
Let's do a fresh Premi tour. Premi.
Okay. What about, I was really excited when you sent me, that, was it Gippsland is for sale? That town?
Oh, dude, I can't believe that.
I know.
Gippsland, it's a working farm with a pub with all the attached. It was a rich monstrosity that was built up. They just wanted to get away from people like me, and they built their own town
in the 1860s Victorian gold rush.
Dude, and so it's a full mining town. It's got a pub. We worked out you can buy it for $2 million, and what I worked out is with Patreon you could just hoodwink only 5,000 people for a very small amount of money, and then you just once a year
wait,
have a podcast
for a small amount.
Well, it's maybe $7 or $7,000, but Dude, and that gives them lifetime entry to the pod. They're not to go there. There's a 3-day weekend. They're not to be seen on the property any other time of the year. Or they can fuck off. We got shotguns. We let them in for 3 days, almost like a rent inspection, into our villa. And they come in, we'll do podcasts and talk about making money. I go, what you need to do is you buy a property and you scam people through a Patreon pyramid. But
It'd
yeah,
be,
man, think about it.
$420 for 5,000 people. But with that,
$420, which is a ticket to a shitty Splendor in the grass. And then so they pay $420, and then they come along, and then we get another $10,000 because we need money and we need profits. And then we do live pods, and it's got hard yarn. No, not hard yarns. We won't get
Yeah, definitely not hard
But we've
yarns.
got mid-flight brawl. Hard yarns can do the catering. And then we got we can have the Dum Dum Boys in. We can have whatever, fucking big busty girls.
John Conway live at the end.
Was
big
it
busty woman.
4.5 hectares. Is that
4.5, dude.
How much
and the
is
best
that?
The best part is when Mid-Flight Brawl has used most of their Patreon to do it, and they come in and we're in the main house, and we're like, well, dude, we came up with the idea. We are Meow Meow Chang, or whatever his name is. Dude, and they're all intense. But I imagine the excitement of Nick Cody when he realized he owns the property. Then when he gets there, and we're like, well, you're camping. Like, we own the central structures. You read the contract, you idiot. You've bought a small meter of the moon. Do you know when you buy moon dust, or just enough to become a lord?
Yeah. They name a star after you.
Yeah, but dude, I'm overwhelmed, dude. We got 5,000 people. We own it. I'm like, nah, actually, you own a handful of sand near the fucking manure tip. You read the contract. We own it, man. We're monetizing. Yep. But then you could have an annual pod fest, and all the people, the freaks could come, and then we could, stand them in the middle. We're all on mics, and we could mock them. Almost like crowd work.
We would need to, like...
Can you imagine all the Patreons are there, all the comics set up, and we do thumbs up, thumbs down. They're all naked. We spray them with water hoses. We yell, and that's the live pod.
The only thing that concerns me, right, is that it's like the town of Coopers Creek, including the pub, is for sale, but then they only show pictures of the pub. It worries me what you're actually buying.
Who cares? Because we all live in the pub. And then imagine
I know. But we want to create Gumboot Gully, right? Like that's the dream.
We want
the dream is.
Dude, do you have to leave soon? Yeah, keep going.
Fuck! I hate you.
Okay, go. Sorry, I'm now playing it as a running joke, just to be frustrating. You know me. Okay,
Gumboot. We want to create Gumboot Gully, right?
Yeah.
Like, is 4.45 hectares enough for Gumboot Gully? Does it have the infrastructure that we require for Gumboot Gully? Like, where does it fall down? You know what I mean? Because if we raise 2.1 mil, we can't then fall short because
we need Fire Festival. We'll be taken care of. We've got a lot of money. So we'll be in a central area.
No, we'll spend all the money on fucking Coopers Creek,
dude,
and then we'll move there, and we'll be like, oh shit,
we're not going to live there.
They don't
we
have
just use
phone
it
lines.
it's a holiday house for us, and then we have that 3-day festival, and then people come in and they go, 420, I'm part owner of it. They arrive, they're slung into a fucking service tent, and then if they want food, it's Wonder White bread thrown into a tent. You want better food? Do you want a beer? It's $90. You fucking piece of shit. And they go, we want to leave. And I'm like, they're dogs at the gate. You give me more money now.
We need to create like we need a town with enough infrastructure that we can create a compound. Like I want to go out like Waco. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I don't want a small time at festivals, sick, awesome. Like we can, there's all heaps of cool shit we could do. But I don't want to just have that and then we only. I want to live in this fucking place.
Dude, and how
I want to have a full compound of autistic podcast listeners that we've created from this beautiful little town.
Dude, and this is why I want it like Waco, like a cold, where overnight when I'm drunk, I go on the loudspeakers and I can yell indoctrination to them. Oh, you pussy weak man. You're a weak man and you need to put more into the Patreon, you fucking... And I'm lying drunk in a bed going like, your wife's going to leave you. You're a fucking mutt of a man. Direct debit me now or I'm going to turn the lights on or all the facility and put the air horns on. But
absolutely.
Do you know what's so good is when they arrive, they'll get our local currency so that we don't have to declare any of it.
Andy
so
bucks.
they'll give us $5,000, which we don't clear. It's in cash. And then they use weird little honky nuts or pebbles to buy shit. So, and then we've just got the money and they slowly diminish. And at the end they go, dude, I only spent like $2,000. I'm like, well, the pebbles have inflated. We've been printing pebbles. They're worthless. I go,
we found a big stack of them down at the river. Now they're worth nothing.
And they go, look, it's real bad because we went to the quarry and it turns out there are lots of pebbles and your bag of pebbles is now worth $3. Welcome to the United States of America. We've been printing pebbles the last 3 days. And they go, dude, I only spent $300 on 3 pints from the pub, and I had some Wonder White bread. And I'm like, well, your remaining pebbles can get you a bracelet for a half price discount for next year, mate. That's what you get, 2 for 1 special.
The concerning thing about Cooper's Creek, right, as Gumboot Gully, is that I'm looking on Google Maps and there isn't anything else there. Like,
you don't want anything else there, man, because there's crimes. The police won't be there. You need them isolated.
No.
Crimes.
There's not even houses. Like it's essentially it's just a very expensive pub with a very large beer garden.
Dude, you want to be away from.
It's a 4.45 hectare beer garden, man. Like, dude, that's what we're purchasing.
How good is it? You can do anything. I'm drunk with a shotgun. Someone needs to go to hospital. I'm like, well, it's a 16-hour Uber from here. I'm sorry. She's probably going to die. I shouldn't have shot her in the ankles, but I'm a bad drunk. We're having a laugh.
You know that you're...
I kept yelling, dance for our pod. We're on live, and just shooting at their ankles.
You know, you're looking
hundreds of people in Ubers.
You're looking at a very remote area when, like, the Google Maps Street View thing, like, you can't put it down because the car hasn't been through there.
The car, man, and you know what's the best is in a few years, once it's popular, the car, when they get there, they'll just go missing. Do you know what I mean? They'll drive to take photos.
We off-road the Google Maps car.
Dude, and they'll be like, what the fuck? We sent 3 Google cars down there. They never come back. We're too scared. And they just pull them in.
And you know, there'll be like the automated ones, like the self-driving ones. We take them, we scrap them. We're scrapping the Google Maps cars.
Dude, I love it. They raid us 3 years later, and there's these Google photo guys dressed as harlots with leather straps serving beers at the pub on chains. They're in G-strings crying. Yeah, that's good. We've got good angles here. We could actually do this Patreon. We just need to team up with a bigger pod, and then you have an annual pod, and we get another 5,000 people, and that's how people get their money back. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. So you pay $4.20, and then you convince one of your dumb mates to come and pay $4.20, and we give you that immediately back, which means, you break even. You both get one show, and then 2 years later, we sell it to the Chinese as their first base. to raid
a Chinese
Melbourne.
Military base, man. That's it, dude. That's the end game for TikTok, man. Like they sow the dissent, and then eventually, when they do come to invade, like tomorrow when the war began, we have the compound and the
dude,
like the landing point.
Imagine the first festival when everyone's asking, dude, there are a lot of Chinese here in military gear. We're like, yeah, they're listeners. They're listeners. And we're like, why do we have a rocket launcher being built down the back? I'm like, yeah, it's a nuclear sub. It's not a big deal. It's a nuclear warhead.
So it's
Enjoy.
It's 21 lots, right? 660 square meters.
No. You got the numbers wrong. It's 21 lots to us. It's 250,000 lots to the other
well, they're
podcasts.
in bunks, man. They're on cots. Like I understand that. I'm just looking at what we actually get, because I feel like they're making too big a deal out of this on like Real Commercial or whatever the fucking website is, right? No, get that Hard Yarns podcast out of the fucking background.
Oh my Lord, dude! I feel like we can keep going. Keep going.
So it's 21 lots, but what you're getting, right, with these 21 lots, it's the pub, like the hotel, and then 1 2-bedroom home with a veranda, which means every other lot needs to be built upon. I just worry. I wonder if there's not, like, for 2.1 mil. It's because it's not even that far out of
dude.
out of
how hard is it to build a house? You just buy $4,000 like vans and just put a mattress in the back and say, Nick, Cody and Heggy, there's your bed. and it's just a mattress in the back of like a ute.
It's only 2 hours away from Melbourne. We need to go further.
No, dude,
further
2
in.
hours is good because
No, because like you're not thinking about what we're getting for our money. Like this is the fact that it's a huge feature on Real Commercial.
Yeah, but you're not right because what
it's too top line. We need to be looking for something
that doesn't exist, and we make
out.
it. But I want the history.
Or a truly abandoned fucking hotel, like something that's really derelict.
Yeah, maybe, man. But I want the history because I also hope 2 hours we might have a neighbor. You need a neighbor for the running joke, where it's like a old couple that wouldn't move, or to add fun. I'd
Man,
love
there
them
are places like
imagine day 3 of the festival and the neighbor comes around in their pajamas, and we've got the Chinese dancing, we've got the Google cameramen serving beers dressed in G-strings, and they come around going, "What's happening? I've got a shotgun, I'm on a microphone, I'm blind drunk, and we're trying to load someone up into an Uber to get them to the hospital."
I'm telling you, dude. Like, what's that place called? Like, you've heard of? I've heard of Mildura, right?
Yeah, Mildura drink, man. It's a lot of fruit drinks.
But that's 6 hours away. Like, we need to go 6 hours out and find.
Dude,
one
I'm
of
not
those...
going to sit for 6 hours in a car with you. I need 2 hours max.
We're living there, man. Like, we're never going to need to leave.
I can't
It's a
live
compound.
there because I need my kids to be indoctrinated by school system.
Dude, we will have our own school. I'm saying if we find a place that's shitty enough.
Dude, but how will my kids learn to memorize facts and regurgitate them?
Man,
and
you need to
become
let
a
go
middle
of these
management
kids.
at a mining firm.
Bro, you need to let go of these kids. They're holding you back, brother. We're gonna buy a small town and turn it into company.
How much cooler would it be to have like a small Chinese boy that's a child of war that's smoking it? Way better than my dumb kids.
Oh man,
that have
dude, and
neurosis.
none of them are fat. Like, there's no fat one.
Skinny, and I'm like, how cool? Is this your 3-year-old? He's Chinese, he's smoking, and he's actually done a day's work in his life. Not crying because his fucking Switch has been deleted by his brother, which happened last night.
Oh,
they deleted the game.
Yeah, that is upsetting for
Do you know what actually happened, which sucked? His game got deleted, so I had to spend 8 hours playing to get him to where he was at.
Oh, really?
So
Is that what happened?
You
had to spend all that time playing video games
to get him back to where he was.
Fuck.
Dude, I had to play Kirby for 8 hours. I hated it. That's why I threw up in the toilet. I'm like, you bloody idiot. Now I have to play games all night.
Man, we go a few hours outside of Mildura, right? Like, so we're already outside of. You know what I mean? Like, Mildura is the outside of. We go a few hours outside of there. We find some town that's truly been abandoned, but they still have, like, houses or whatever. Somewhere that they mined for a bit and, like, they set up a fucking, like, a small town for it with, like, accommodations for everyone. And we buy that. And we get it for, like, $1 million tops.
Well, I agree. And also, but you want to have history,
and then
so there ghosts there.
We don't need the history, man. We're creating a wake.
Yeah, but then it's fake. It's like Vegas, or where they build the fake sets.
We're not building anything. We're making a compound, dude. But
I want history there where I can go, oh, this is the wall where the guy was slaughtered, or do you know what I mean? I like this backstory.
It'll be. What are you talking about? We'll have that from day one. This will be like, oh yeah, this is where we shot Hank.
You'll shoot, dude. Dude, we can simulate.
We shot and killed Hank, and for populating them, man. You know what we do? We adopt and fly in kids from Myanmar who will do anything for a cigarette, right?
Oh, these are the butlers. You've just got a pack of cigarettes and they'll do anything. And dude, we can create our own TikTok because we'll control the media. We control their live streams.
I think we need to outreach to TikTok's CCP.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. So we do the media, and
we don't need to do it. We don't need to do it. We need to get on board with them. We need to go, hey China, just letting you know we're creating a military operations base.
Dude, it's like when it's
just
like
outside of Mildura. It's already populated by the citizens of Myanmar, and by citizens we mean children.
Dude, it's like one of those experiments where you grow like an ant farm, or the mini jungle, and you see if it can survive. And we're experimenting now.
Yeah.
We're creating a little ecosystem and it's working. And I go like, I've got people dancing to TikTok music for slices of bread. We're in charge of it all. The army rises. There's their own thing and people are dancing. The Google guys dancing to viral tracks for my amusement to be served bread.
But just think, man, like there has to be enough like work from home people where if we provided a decent enough internet connection, that'd be like, and we're like, hey, come live in our compound.
Dude, I love this. How good is it that you've got 100 acres, but you still put them in small cubicles? You simulate the workplace. And they're like, dude, I wasn't really expecting this. And you're like, this is a meter by a meter. And you're like, we like it that way. I like looking in and seeing through glass windows working. And they're like, we're on a farm. There's running water. There's streams. Can we work anywhere? I'm like, no, the internet is in this small facility where we feed you like a hamster cage that we can look into.
Okay. So I think I might have the model that works, right? We operate it like a true cult, right?
Yeah.
We find these people who podcast fans work from home, can work remotely, and rather than charging them buy, they don't have to buy a house, they don't have to pay rent. It's just a tithe, right? So we take 10% clip of their earnings, and it's all work from home. Like they don't care.
Dude, imagine how funny it is when they're doing their Zoom conference call and I'm peering in from the background. How's she going? Is she doing all right? And then they can see me like give her a push in the back and go, left, Sheila.
But man, we get this place right. Fuck that. 20 lots is fine, but we don't even need multiple lots. We just need a big space, right? And we fill it with tiny homes.
Yeah.
At like what, 20, 30 grand a pop of tiny homes.
Dude, that's too much money. It only has to be $430.
No, what are you talking about? I'm saying we fill the place up with tiny homes, right? We put people in there, and then they have their own little bit of property. They live in a compound, and everything's like they're paying fuck all to them, but we're taking a 10% tithe of whatever they're earning.
Mate, this sounds like religion because a lot of people contribute a part of their income.
It's very culty. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, mate,
that's why they do the tithe thing, because if you think about it, like how much you spend on rent, like what's the average? Like 30% on rent alone?
Yeah. So it's cheaper. It's 10%.
It's 10%.
And you know what? If they're smaller people, we can even cheaper. No, okay, that's going too hard. Smaller house?
Yeah, if they're smaller people, we can put them in smaller.
Dude, I tried to do that riff because Elon Musk was talking about sending a rocket to the moon. And they go, we can only fit 100 people on there. But I'm like, what about small people? Because when they breed, they have full-size kids. So I'm like, they could save the planet because you could fit 1,000 on.
When they breed, they have full-size kids.
2 midgets. Oh, you can't say midget. But 2 small people have normal size. So you could populate Mars by sending...
That's not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee.
You
but
send
it is
1,000 small people up there and then they all breed and have normal-sized people. It's actually how you compact. Elon can populate Mars using small people.
Man, dude, what's better than that, dude? Like, if you just send up small people and they only make small people, you're effectively creating a new race.
That's way better.
Listen, you're creating a race of Martians because everyone who comes from there is like 4'5".
Dude, and they're so good. You seen them on The Lord of the Rings? They're so good at digging tunnels and setting it all up. Dude, you know what the thing is? Gravity will stretch them back up. They would probably come back normal size.
I don't think that's how it works.
Dude, you come and go, dude, he's 7 foot without the weight of gravity. Just stretched out. But dude, they're good because they can tunnel and you just need a gold source up there because that's what the dwarfs chase. They dig for gold.
But man, I'm telling you, like, we're 2.1 mil is too much. We don't need to go that high.
I'm not paying 2.5. I'm paying fucking 100 grand.
That's what I'm saying. We can find a place. We can find a place out where it's like really butt fuck nowhere.
Chernobyl, man. Chernobyl. Where's we do it?
Yeah, like a Pripyat
Pacific
kind of thing.
Island that's had bomb testing on it, and we've just in suits to protect us. And they go, my baby's weird, and I'm like, yeah, that would be the radiation. We got this place for $6 grand. It's a fucking nuclear waste site, you idiot. Have you been drinking the water? You're going to be fucked for a long time.
We need to go to like the border of like just where it starts bordering on desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude,
And
I just linked it together. You know where we need to go? Romania. Tate's already doing this.
No.
Tate's early stages.
No.
Tate is ours 2 years down the road.
No,
what do you think his compound's going to be for?
Stop bringing it back to Tate. I fucking hate Tate.
What do you think his compound's for? The exact same idea as us.
He's got a rape compound for doing rapes in.
Yeah, but we're more honest, but he is doing the same thing.
We're not doing the same thing.
Our
We're not
Patreon is
making a
gonna try
rape
steal.
compound.
And you know what's so good? It's all a lie. You're going to spend $450 and they go, it'll be like Fire Festival. Where's the island? And we're like, sorry guys, I've got a coke habit. We haven't bought anything. Like, what do you mean? Didn't you buy it? And we're like, nah. We went on helicopter rides and drank champagne for a few days. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
I
why
I own a tiger now.
That's why I hate your idea, because it doesn't get us any closer to Gumboot Gully. When it's very achievable, man. I'm telling you.
No, but listen, the pod idea works because they don't own it. They just
It is the pod idea. They're not owning anything. I'm saying that they're contributing. We take. Okay, let's say we get a fucking, I don't know, let's say we get 5 hectares, right?
Yeah.
We take a hectare for us. That's
I
ours.
need that.
We've got 4
I need
hectares.
that area to go and think. Somewhere to have free thought.
Yeah.
Away from all the heinous crimes that have been committed in the smaller areas. Yeah.
And then we have 4 remaining hectares, right, for us to do whatever we want with. And for that, like, use 2 of them, man. 2 hectares for putting. Imagine you're a 25-year-old. You work in IT. It seems fucking impossible to get into the housing market. You don't really have any friends.
You can just go there.
All you do is listen to podcasts all day.
Hard yarns.
You're definitely not hard yarns. But you're probably listening to Sure Thing, right? Yeah. And instead of you work remote. You just wake up in the morning. Yeah. You have a coffee. You log on. For a fuckload less of what you're paying right now, you can come to Gumboot Gully, and there's a tiny house for you. You pay a 10% tithe.
I love it, man. I don't want to be downwind, because when they're howling at night, I don't want to hear it. I want to be away. So
howling from what?
Well, just the entrapment. Obviously, once they realise they can't get out and they're legally bound.
No, they can leave. That's fine.
No, they can't.
We're taking the 10% tithe.
Oh, yeah. In inverted commas, they can leave. But realistically, no one's going anywhere. Hey.
But there's no point.
one's going anywhere.
There's no point. And then we've got 2 hectares. Man, that's festivals. That's raves. That's podcast festivals.
You know what I love the most?
Whatever.
Is when they think we're invested in it, but then they realize that we're not really living there and we're coming and going randomly. And then just
why are we coming and going, dude? This is a dream.
Because it's so much funnier when they're loving it and then we disappear because we're going to Club Med in Barbados for a few weeks. Why? With the money we made.
Bro, you don't leave your fucking house. You live in your parents' fucking 3rd bedroom.
My parents don't even recognize me. I don't leave the house. I don't even leave the bedroom.
Why the fuck would you want to leave Gumboot Gully
back there, man?
Why would you want to live? What, dude? We're the co-mayors of Gumboot Gully. Why would you want to leave this place where we've named every street after ourselves? Why would you ever? Why do you want to go to Club Med? You don't want to go to Club Med. You got a whole hectare and a nice little fucking villa to live in.
And we are lords there. And imagine I'm doing a new hour every week, which is just ramblings, and they're clapping, and I'm like, dude, stand up's so easy. I've got 1,000 people, and it's the only entertainment they get. And I'm like, that ghost joke's finally crushing. Hey, it's crushing. It's crushing. They're just starved of anything. And I'm like, he likes to perform each night, unscripted, 1 hour material. Dude, Jamal's wrecked the pod. I keep thinking that he wants to leave. Do you need to leave?
No. But you have 20 minutes.
We've got 20 minutes to get out of here, man.
No,
what happens in 20 minutes?
The camera's going to die. The hard drive's running out. We've been going out for 2 hours and 20 minutes, mate.
It's so frustrating.
We had a good riff, but the whole time I'm looking, he's walking up and down like Napoleon. He's back with his arms back. He's looking out the window. Then he's lying down for a bit. Then he's sitting somewhere. Then he seems to Dude, we can't
How am
upload
I
this.
supposed to do this fucking podcast if you can't do the podcast?
We can't upload it. It's a nightmare. I'm going to go and get a job.
Why can't you fucking get a webcam and then plug that
I'm
in
gonna get a webcam, man.
and then do that?
I'm going to get a webcam, man, because I need privacy. It's like jerking off. I can't have people watching me. I'm not on the riff.
I know. So what the fuck are you doing?
Well, it's the first time I've done it. Do you know, it's like had sex for the first time and go, you were incredible. I'm like, yeah. Well, you're the first 40-year-old divorcee I've had sex with. You know, I'm a new boy. I'm 16. What do you think? I'm ejaculating in the side of my pillow just on movement. What do you think? I'm going to be good in the bed?
What are we going to do with 20 minutes?
We need another 20 episodes to get good with the visuals.
What are we going to do with 20 minutes left?
We're going to count it down. 20,
you haven't been able
20.
to fucking commit to any premise so far.
I know, I can't believe it. But you know what I've realized is I need just a camera that sits above the laptop so
Then
I can
why
look
you
at
fucking buy one at JB Hi-Fi?
Yeah, but I spoke to the guy there and he said, I think, yeah, that's going to be shoddy. And then I was like, well, why am I going to trust you? Like, you're obviously not smart. You work at JB Hi-Fi. I said, what do you know of this? No, I've been just joking. But he said a webcam won't be good enough for, you know, for the numbers that we're going to be doing. Because I told him, look, we're getting about like maybe 100, I don't know. Once we've been on Matt and Sean's pod, the numbers are going to blow up. I said, I've got a new internet. I've upgraded my laptop. It's like, you know, to run the quantity of downloads. How you going, man? Why are you like this? You're wrecking your blow wave.
You're such a fuck up.
I can't believe you got your hair done for the pod.
I didn't get my fucking hair done, man. I showered. I had a shower.
Dude, I imagine you like blow wave and you come back from the salon and you're walking on air as you walk out of the salon and you hear the ding, ding, ding. Thanks, girls. And they go, Joshy, you're going to crush the pod. But the reality is the pod sucked. And we will now go back to obscurity.
You know how you know I'm not at the salon? Because you're on the fucking phone to me every 5 minutes before in the lead up to the show going, mate, I'm outside Cash Converters. It's closed. It's a rep call. I don't know where I am. I'm going to JB. It's 1,500 to get a camera. I've got to go pick up a videographer. I don't know what's going on. You get here. We're going to set it up. I don't know what's happening. Man, I got out of the shower and I fucking blow dry my hair so I don't get fucking dandruff, dude, I always do.
What I thought would be funny though is I loved it because you were excited. We got the video. I'm
not excited because I knew this would fucking happen.
No, but what I wanted you to do is I show you footage and I bought like an 80s handy cam with the old school tapes. And they go, dude, I got this for $90. And you're like, has it got SD? I'm like, dude, it's running on VHS. it's a VHS camera. That's what I wanted to do. Where you go, are we going to film? And I go, I don't know, ma'am. Can you have a look at this camera? And it's an old, you know, the old Sony Panasonic big hand ones. Yeah, that's my plan. A dusty old camera.
Yeah.
I thought you'd find that funny.
I got 2 hours and 9 minutes of almost unusable fucking audio and burnt premises that you've been stepping all over.
No, I haven't burnt them, man. The problem is the camera, I'm not even looking at it. So the video footage sucks.
You don't need to be looking at it, man. You just need a
camera. Why these creeps want to look at me? It's private.
I'm fucking private. Wanted this.
Yeah, but I'm feeling like, what sort of creeps trying to watch you on the internet? These people are unsavory. I want to just have my audio out there. I even actually want my voice changed so they can't recognize me in public. Oh, my God. Mate, anyway.
Why don't you just go and buy a fucking webcam? I'll send you a link to the one you need to buy.
Send me and I'll buy it now, I promise.
And then come back and you can let Jamal leave and he can fucking upload whatever footage he's got and we can do a fucking podcast.
Yeah, okay. But I've got to leave it too and we'll do another one, okay?
What do you mean you leave it to? What's the time now?
It's 12:50.
So you want to leave in an hour and 10 minutes? For what?
It gives me, it's 40 minutes to get the camera, 12 minutes to set it up. It gives us 8 minutes of new footage. But it's actually been a learning experience.
It's not been a learning experience. These are all things I know.
There's been some
Name
good
one.
riffs.
Name one.
Well, the camera was a good running joke. The fact that I kept looking at Jamal and I couldn't concentrate was funny in a way. Not for a listener, but it was hilarious to me because I could feel like it was just annoying you the whole time. But anyway,
I didn't
man.
give a shit.
Well, look, I'll have a camera set up by Saturday and we can do another one. You can see.
Oh, I
It's
get
only
to do another one, do I? Fuck yeah.
It's only 10
Great.
hours.
Oh,
Just
it's
to-
only
I think
been
there's
it's
some
only
good
been
riffs.
2 hours and 11 minutes plus the fucking 2 hours beforehand.
Well, dude, I've got to be honest. All bits don't work. Even Gillis's show, there was a bit I didn't like. Okay, so I'm saying that. People bomb, and I've had a bad day. Okay,
You
so
haven't
it's the
had a
first
bad
visual
day.
and it's not been a
You've
good
been,
one.
You've been unprepared.
And I'm a fucking human.
All you needed to do was get a fucking camera.
I did like all Shane's bits. I was just don't know why I keep mentioning.
You
that.
couldn't, Ben. Why don't you say, "Hey Jamal, would you mind? Why don't you step out so we can do the so I can do this?" Because
Yeah,
I'm a fucking.
Jamal, if you could wait outside.
It's too late now, cunt.
You stand outside while I do it. You're putting me off.
You can't fucking install the drivers
Dude,
to
it
have the
feels like
roadcaster work.
I'm banging Jamal's wife. It's like a guy in a cupboard staring at me while I'm pumping. Keep looking over and going, I'm doing it right. He's fucking jinxed us. No, he hasn't
You've
really. We're all
jinxed
the
us.
joke.
You've jinxed us.
Do picks of the week.
You do picks. What are the fucking picks of the week?
Oh, dude, I'm back up, baby. I've been running strong. I got
Yeah.
a lucky coin when we were doing that flipper. I negotiated for a coin, and it says on it, everyone deserves a bit of luck. And since then, my life's been up. I toss it to make all my decisions. Heads, I go right. Tails, I go left. And my shares are going through the roof. The comedy career, we've obviously got this video. It's blowing up. And it's all down to this lucky coin, which is made out of plastic. And it says...
Show the camera. Show the camera.
Because you
Show
deserve
the
a bit
camera.
of luck. And I've had that, and I'll tell you, all lights are green. All traffic lights are green.
Mm-hmm.
Life's changed until I lose this coin. But I've got this coin now. It's been up.
So you're 50K up.
No, I'm up at like 150 now.
Yeah, you're up at 150. You're 50K up from.
And,
okay.
and you know what? From negative, I was negative for a period. And you know what that...
Now the truth comes out. I fucking called that so many episodes ago. I said, "You wait. As soon as you're up and it's not embarrassing anymore, that number's gonna come back."
Dude, I went into...
What was it? What? Now that you're at 150, what was
Well,
the?
if I add
How low
everything
was
up-
it? How
if I
low
add
was
it-
it? How
if I
low
add-
was it?
If I add everything up, including like the tax debts, I was minus 200 grand. But now
At
I'm
what
up one-
point? At what point were you minus 200 grand?
during those pods we were talking.
Yeah, like what? 6 months ago? 12 months ago?
No. Now I'm back at 150, and you know what's so good?
But the minus, was that like how many months ago? Was that just after Miso?
Yeah, and that took so long to get out of. It's been real hard work. But you know what's so good? I've traded from that to this. So I'm only 2 steps away from the mill again.
Shut the fuck up. What were the trades that got you back up to 150?
Well, I've had a couple, but I don't give them out on these pods anymore because you've got to sign up.
I'm asking about what ones did well.
What happened this last week is I got in TMK and I had a big position in that, and I got in at 0.009 and I got out, but I'm still waiting for that to go up. I got TPD. I had a big position in that from about 11 to 16. But, I've been building up other money. I also sold my car. I got a credit card debt. That's included in it. That's included in the money. I sold a car. That's a portion of money that I got. And I also got a credit card that I put into stocks. So that's also helped. Not all that money's mine. I do owe. So it's not really that. I actually just got more debt, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm getting there. I think I can get to $1 million by Christmas.
That's
and then I'm going to
great,
laugh at my doubters.
I'm very
I'm
proud
rising.
of you.
I'm going to go higher and higher.
All right. So wait. So what are the ones we're playing at the moment? TMK.
Well, Hazir I still like, but I'm saying TPD has started to rock and roll. They're going to be producing at the end of the year, pulling in 25 mil a year. So they're sitting at a 70 mil market cap. So they're fucking incredible for like a 5-10 bag. TMK is a Mongolian coal seam gas play that's going well. I had Latin Resources, LRS, did well. I had other bits and bobs. But I want to get, once I get over $1 million, I'm going to get on my shirt, like my bank balance, so people can see it directly from my net bank at all points.
Like a LED light.
Well, you know how people get custom number plates? I want my net worth just on a shirt. So when I'm drinking, people can go like 2.8 mil. And as I take a drink, it drops down to 2.7.
I reckon you have dude, that's an idea, man. A shirt with like an LED ticker on it. And it's constantly scrolling with your net worth as it goes up and down.
Dude, it's your net worth, so people see you buy a kebab and it drops down by $6. And then Bitcoin's swinging up and they're drinking and you're like off your head on MDMA and they're like, dude, it's tripled. Fucking and altcoins run. And you're like, oh, fuck, what's going on? I'm like, it's 8 now. And you're like, yeah, your leverage position on an altcoin has worked. And you could feel it because when you're drinking, suddenly girls are more interested. And then you look down at the shirt and realize you're worth 80 million. And you're like, Jesus, I wondered where you came from. You've obviously looked at the ticker. Hey, it's going pretty strong now.
What's TPD? What is TPD?
It's Talon, man. I'd mentioned it before. It's gone all right.
Talent.
Look, I've been building money from the last few years, right? So it's not just all those bits and bobs.
I know, but where's picks of the week?
Picks of the week. Talon for a triple, but maybe in the next 6 months.
Oil and gas.
Yeah, I'm always in the same region. It's
yeah. I know.
Linked to WGO and them. They're all the same.
Wasn't lithium going off recently?
Yeah, well, lithium rebounded, but it wasn't going great. It sort of fell off the cliff 3 months ago. Goldman Sachs released and did the standard thing where if all the supply came online, then obviously the price is going down. Do you know, like Beanie Babies or the idea where like Topaz used to be valuable and then they realize, you find a new supply and you're like, Topazes are not worthless now. But I'm saying that's what sort of happened with lithium. Everyone was getting more lithium and they go like, hey, if you add up all the lithium, there's a lot of it. Yeah. And it's probably not, it's worth like 10 cans, like aluminium cans. But it takes the market every time they do that. They multiply their supply by the current price and they don't consider, hey, there seems to be a shitload of lithium just everywhere. And if we all sell at the same time, it's going to trash.
So it dropped from that and it rebounded.
Rebounded. But dude, it's still not going great. Like I'm not doing well. I'm still fucked.
Yeah, 150 is a much better place to claw back from.
Well, 150 can launch to $1 million quite quick.
Yes.
That's 3 trades.
Yeah, I do not like this rhetoric that you continue to take where you're like, just 3 trades, mate. It's just 3 trades.
To me, it's a joke. I see everyone, they've got their whole life, they work their whole life for it, and I'm like, I'm 3 trades away from replicating your entire existence.
Except that you also had it all and you've already lost it all in one trade.
But look at me. It's like Terminator. I rise back up from the ashes.
Yeah, I know. But you went
and look,
from
I've
zero.
got to be honest, that last fuck up, that was very taxing and I have learned from that. Yeah. That was very horrific and I almost killed myself.
To 2.1 mil and then you crashed into negative. And then
I got, No, then I crashed to 35 or like a small amount. Then I went to $500,000. Then I crashed to negative. Now I'm back up.
I know. But don't worry about the peak in the middle. You still went from 2.1 to negative what? What was it? Negative 150?
Yeah. But dude, to me, it's like throwing pennies to the peasants. 2.1's nothing. 2.1 is a sausage sandwich from a service station.
I just want you to maintain perspective because it's the one thing that you can't do is maintain
Look, I got to be honest because I wanted to be big and then I lost so much and it was very emotionally traumatic and quite a lot to go negative. It was a very jarring thing. And I was not well for many years. And I'm still not well.
You've not been well for like 18 months.
And it's the sort of thing that leaves a scar that never heals. So it was, I thought I was
That's just a wound, mate. That's not a scar.
But I tell you, that thing, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone, hey, to go from 2.1 to negative. Just a hot tip. it will affect your mind a bit. when you're out at a gig and you suddenly realize you can't get food, that's a lot. That's a lot. When you used to not even look, you went to the shops and just loaded a trolley. Now you're shoplifting. Do you know it's a big swing in lifestyles?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what the thing is? Either way, the trolley's full with money or with shoplifting. I'm still getting the good ham.
Oh my God.
Now I just have to shove it down my pants, but it's still eating hot ham, beautiful hams. We better make a move, man. Jamal's asleep.
Tell Jamal I need him to upload
actually
it
asleep. I can't
straight
believe
away.
it.
Can he upload it straight away, please?
Yeah, he'll upload right away, man. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll get better at this.
Yeah, because
stay
you're going to get
positive.
a fucking camera.
Dude, what about just using my phone?
I did that for... I set up my phone and 2 GoPros and I did a fucking podcast for Hotter and it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine, man. But I think if you do 2.5 hours, I researched your battery runs hot and it will collapse it. Running with the camera, it's not made for it. Maybe I'll buy a fan that can fan my phone and keep it cool. Dude, that's what we buy. We buy a fan to keep the phone cool.
You're buying you're going to buy...
No, I'm going to Cash Converters to get a fan. I'm going to record
you're
on my
going
phone.
to go to JB and you're going to buy a Logitech Brio camera. I'm going to send
I'll
you
do
a
it right
link
now.
to it.
I'll put it on. I'll send it to you to prove it. I better make a move, man.
Yeah.
Have fun editing something good out of that shit.
I hate you so much.
I'm sorry, man. Life's hard. Try
you
have
make
negative
it
money.
hard. You
have negative
make
money,
it hard.
you dickhead.
Huh?
It's a fucking arduous journey, this shit. We were saying it
For me!
the thing.
You
No, I'm
make
saying
it arduous.
We were talking about it. If this was a simulation, it's a shit game. We've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
I'd rather play like Mario Kart. I'm like, this is the best game where everyone sits in cubicles and works. I'm like, the aliens playing this game are so nerdy. I'm like, can we get into Grand Theft Auto, a decent fucking game?
Except you can do anything, and you're inhibited by us being someone else in the room.
No, but imagine this. Imagine this. If this was a simulation and this is the game. So the alien families playing and 90% of the population just sits in cubicles typing data.
Bro,
like,
the simulation is me bashing my head against the wall over and over and over and over again while you have a nervous breakdown because some dude named Jamal who set up a video camera is to your fucking left.
I've been sent to test you. I'm in your mind. I'm not even real.
It doesn't matter. It's still bad.
You've been in a coma for the last 3 years. You finally
it's a shit coma. It doesn't matter what whether.
Well, no one comes out of a coma and said, "Oh, it was a great coma. I had a lot of fun in there."
I don't know, man. I would love to wake up right now. I reckon I would come out and be like, "Oh, thank fuck there was a coma."
Yeah, man. Well, I'm out. I'll speak to you later on. Sorry that it was awful. It was always going to be lower than expectations. Bit of excitement, bit of attempting to do well. Okay, we're out, man. So sorry. That was way too long.
Overexposed bad positions loom.